hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm hype. I'm hype, guys. Today, I am going to go over all of our OCs that Bones and I have together. And I'm going to be ranking them. I have a few different categories. I think Bones has his own categories. I just made these as I saw fit. I have my Sweet Baby Angels. This is like S tier. Like my favorite of favorites. The Sweet Baby Angels of my heart. My children. Then we have Blorbo. I guess this is like A tier. Like, this is one I love. I think about. But not like, they're not my Sweet Baby Angel, you know? Hi, Ors. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Sabika. Hello, hello. Then we have my second favorite child. I guess this is like B tier. It's like, they're, you know, they're one of my favorite children, but like, they're not the favorite children, you know? And you don't tell them they're the third favorite, because that's even more scarring. Hello, Oyasumi. I'm usually at school. Yeah, true. True. We gotta start immediately. We gotta be in it. There's a lot of characters. There's like almost 400 characters. Then I've got, I like them. This is like, it's a character. I like them. They're good, but they're not my favorite. I'm fairly unknowledgeable about who your children are. I'm here to be educated. Thank you. Lock in. Yes. We must lock in. Then we have They're Okay. It's like, I like them, but they're not like my favorite. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this character. I like them. And then there's I don't remember or I don't care. There's a couple side characters where I'm like, who? I've also, if anyone's curious, I've linked Bones's video about all our OCs down below, so you can find it there if you're like, who are these people? Who are these Blorbos? So that's my intro. All right, I'm so scared to start. I can't choose between all my babies. Look at all these. Also, like, I'm a little late because Bones showed up and was like, oh, I forgot to add these characters. So there's more that we just added. My God. My God. Look at all of them. There's so many. What is Blorbo? I don't know where it came from. But it's what people call, like, your comfort character. Like, your favorite OC. Or your favorite fictional character. That you just think about all the time. That's your Blorbo. The 7-hour one, yes. Exactly. The 7-hour video of all our OCs. Oh my God, where do I start? Okay. Well, you know what? I've only got limited time today, so I better start. So first we have Caleb. So, Caleb. His name's not Caleb. Caleb. Anyways, he is from the Four Fairy Kingdom RP. He is a prince who is tricked into giving up his kingdom to like a fairy named Wolf, who he's kind of in love with. They first Wolf tricks him into falling in love with him, and then they actually fall in love. Act first, think later. You're so right. Okay, Caleb. I think he's in Blorbo tier. He's one I really like. He's a character I love. He's my sweet baby. But I don't know if he's like the favorite of the favorites, you know? So Blorbo. He's a Blorbo. He's my first favorite child, you know? Next we have Azalea, or Lady Azalea. So Lady Azalea, she's from the same RP, so from the Four Fairy Kingdoms. So in the Fairy Kingdoms, like if like a fairy king or queen starts a kingdom, they have to have like a lord or lady for each season. And so she is the summer lady, I believe. Anyway, she joins Wolf's Kingdom after he steals it from Caleb. She's up there. I like her a lot. She's really vain and like petty and like dumb, and I love her. I don't care about her more than I love Caleb. But she might be up there. I feel like a lot of them are going to be in the Blorbo category. Women, yes. So then we have Princess Sarah. So this is Caleb's little sister from the same RP. Support women's rights and women's wrongs. Yes, exactly. So this is another girl who commits women's wrongs. And I kind of love her for it. So she's Caleb's little sister. She's a brat. She's really mean and defensive a little bit because they're like, okay, listen, the king and queen, their parents, kind of abusive, kind of jerks. Caleb became like really, really sweet and like obedient as a kid, and Sarah became really like mean and overly defensive in response. So she's kind of mean. She's also very petty. I know Azalea and Ambrosia, another character, kind of pick on her a lot. She gets turned into a rat because Azalea is stealing her beauty. She's kind of up there. Do I like Azalea more? Yes. Okay. Prince Ratimus. So this is a prince who's gonna he's kind of, what is he? He's like a rat who like lives in the palace in this RP, who when Sarah is turned into a rat, they meet, and he decides to like execute her because she's been nasty and kills like all the mice and rats in the palace because she doesn't like them. So he's like, well, now you must die. He doesn't really become a major character. At least we didn't get that far. I like him. He's good. But he's not like my favorite, you know? We love Prince Ratimus. He's just a rat. He's a rat with morals, you know? Matilda. I think this is the maid. I think this is Sarah's maid. I don't really remember her. Ambrosia. So this is the other lady. She's the Lady of Spring, I believe, in the kingdom. She's another fairy. She is she's like evil. She's in this like really cute appearance. She acts all like sweet and lovely, but she's got like murderous intent inside of her. And I love her. Do I like her more than Sarah? She's kind of equal with Sarah. Yeah. Emerald. So this is Lord Emerald. He's the Fall Lord of Wolf's Kingdom. He used to be a goblin. Hello. Hello, Chase. Welcome. He was a goblin who ascended to becoming a fairy lord. And he is like a scientist. He has no morals. Well, he develops them as the story goes on. But he likes to just experiment and do bad things. And then he develops a heart at some point. I like him a lot. He's my character. I made him for the RP. He's cute. I like him more than Sarah. I like him less than Azalea. Azalea's kind of up there for me. Then we have, oh god, what is her name? Saffron? Lady Saffron, I think. She is the winter lady of the court. She's Ambrosia's older sister. And she, if I recall correctly, she used to be like the queen of a kingdom that then was like taken from her. She's like cursed and very sad and stuff. She's very cool and mysterious. But she didn't capture my heart like the other ones. Honestly, I think she's kind of, I like him. Like, I don't think about her all the time, but she's solid. She's a good character. Then we have King Lilac. So this is another one of my characters. He is a unicorn. He's one of the other fairy kings. He created his own kingdom. Everything is purple in his kingdom and very beautiful. He's extremely vain. Oh, hello. Welcome. He's very vain, petty. What I'm learning is I just love characters who are just vain and petty. I mean, a lot of this comic, or not comic, this RP had a lot of, like, it was a lot about vanity and petty, like, fairy politics. I love him a lot. Do I love him more than Calum? Kinda. Do I? They're kind of equal. I don't know. I'll keep Calum up front. He's my boy. But I love King Lilac. He's dumb. He's dumb and beautiful, and that's what I love. Then we have... Is it Lady Amethyst? No. What is her name? Dang it. Hold on. Hold the phone. What is her name? I gotta quickly scan the video so that I remember. It's been a minute. It's hard because in this kingdom they all have like purple names. So I'm like, what is the purple name? Oh, it's Lady Plum. It's Lady Plum. What are the other ones? What are the other ones? Hold on, guys. Sorry, just getting the video. Who is who? Who's what? Okay, that is Lady Plum. Okay, then we have Amethyst, Iris, and Nightshade. Okay. Okay, Lady Plum. She's just really cute and nice. I don't really know how she became a lady of a kingdom. She's kind of too nice. They tend to be pretty mean and cutthroat. I don't know. She got there first. But she's part of Lilac's court. I like her. She's fine. I vaguely remember her. She was pretty cute. Then we have Lord Amethyst. He's also from Lilac's kingdom. If I recall, he was very dumb. I'm just learning that I love all the dumb characters. Maybe we should all watch the 7-hour video and then make the tier list. Literally. Right, he's in love with the king. That's his thing. He's got like a crush on Lilac. And he's like he like kisses up to him and stuff. I really like him. I don't think he's in the top tier, but he was really fun to RP as. He was silly. He was a silly little butt kisser, you know. Lady Iris. I don't remember much about her. She seemed nice. We'll put her in there okay, because I don't really remember her. Did she go with Matilda? Kinda. I don't really remember. I feel when chat hasn't done the homework. I'm moving on. Keep up. Okay, so then we have Lord Nightshade. So again, part of Lilac's kingdom. He's a meanie. He's kind of a bad boy. He was very aggressive. And he had a crush on Iris. I liked him. He was up there. I don't like him as much as Amethyst, but Nightshade was okay. Then we have the Queen of the North. Is it the Northern Queen? Is that her name? I don't think her... Oh, no, Umbra. That's her name, Queen Umbra. But yeah, she is the Queen of the North Kingdom. So she's a misogynist. She was one of the big villains of the RP. She hated other women. She only had men in her court. She was trying to expand her kingdom, I believe, to like eat up all the other ones. She was kind of conquering the other kingdoms. Yeah, she's bad. She's a meanie. I like her. She was cool. I'm just like, she was terrible. She was murdering people. She's a misogynist. I like her. Wait, do I like her more than Amethyst? Yeah, sure. We support women's wrongs. Then we have... Oh god, what are their names? Hold on. Cracking open the video game. Hemlock. Right, Hemlock. I forgot about Hemlock. So Hemlock was part of Umbra's kingdom. And Hemlock was just like a big meanie. I remember like he'd always show up and like be all evil to the characters and stuff. He was always like mocking them and stuff. But he's actually a lady. He's parading around as a fella to hide in Umbra's kingdom. Cause like it's kind of like if he's not in the kingdom, he's dead. So like he's like, I'm gonna stay safe hiding in the open, you know? Right, he gets outed at some point by another character. And probably cast out of the kingdom, if I remember. Oh, right, and he starts turning into a monster. Cool. I liked him a lot. He was good. Yeah, I think I remember liking him more than Umbra. He was a good character. He was fun. Then we have Thistle. So if I recall, Thistle also used to be a goblin. He's another lord of Umbra's kingdom. He's a rival to Hemlock. He's a stinky. If I remember, he was just like petty and annoying, and I kind of love that. He's kind of up there with Hemlock. Then we have Blackthornne. Right. So Blackthornne. Right, so he's like really old. He's one of the lords of Umbra's kingdom. He remembers her kind of before she was... So she used to be nice, but she was kind of... There's a theme in this RP of like marriage is like a big thing, especially with fairies specifically, where like if you marry, you kind of like... You're influenced by the other person's personality that you marry, kind of, or their magic. So she married... Was it the Bloodshore King? Anyways, it kind of turned her evil, but so Blackthornne kind of knew her before she really turned evil. He was always dropping the lore, you know. I liked him. He was fine. Right, and then we have Obsidian. So for some reason I thought Thistle was this character, but he's not. Obsidian. So this is Lord Obsidian. He's like Emerald, who's like the little scientist fella, but he's like evil. He does the most immoral thing. That's all I remember about him. I think he wanted to like take some of Emerald's experiments or something and do bad stuff. I don't remember. Yeah, he's like here. He's definitely a character archetype I like, because I remember I made him. I love an evil scientist. Oh my god, I forgot. He created divorce. He made divorce. Because with the fairies, like the marriage is like bound by magic, right? So you can't you know, you're stuck with this person forever because fairies like live forever, right? But he found a way to break the marriage, so he invented divorce through his experiments. Alora, who was she? Was she one of the humans? No, I don't remember anything about her. Divorce me, canon. He did it. He made it. Good for him. Alora, I think this was like lore that Bones hadn't quite told me, or like we just kind of got to it at the end of the RP. This is Edwin's mother, so I can talk about Edwin later. He hasn't shown up yet. Maybe I should find him. Let's talk about Edwin. Where's my boy Edwin? Where are you, buddy? Where's my mans? There's Edwin. So Edwin, he's a fairymancer. He was one of Bones' characters from the RP. So he, like, the humans were very separate from the fairy realms. Like, a fairy would create a kingdom, and then it would become like a fairy woods. And if humans went in, it was bad news for them. They'd usually be captured or murdered or whatever, right? But Edwin would often go into the forest. He made a lot of deals with fairies. He kind of had, like, fairy adjacent magic. He was called a fairymancer. He was cute. He had a really bad memory because he traded a lot of them away to a fairy. But he's really cute. He's kind of up there. He's one of my faves. So that's Edwin. And then Alora was his mother. And I don't remember nothing about her. So she's down here. There was some magic lore stuff happening, but I don't know what it was. There's Ruddy, who was Edwin's granddad. He was a fairymancer, if I recall, where he learned all his stuff from him. Right. I don't remember him. Then we have Wretch. I don't remember Wretch. Edwin's little sister? I don't remember none of this. It's been a while. With 400 OCs, there's about to be 50 you don't remember. Exactly. Let's grab the rest of the Fairy Kingdom ones. Oh, King Wolf. So we have King Wolf. So he's the one who he's boyfriends with Calum. He tricked Calum into giving over his kingdom through marriage. He like tricked him. He seduced him, pretended to be human, got him to marry him, and then used his fairy magic to take over the kingdom, create a fairy kingdom. Hi, Vicky. And yeah, and then they slowly like actually fell in love. He's up there. I like him more than Edwin. I love him a lot. He's really cute. Where's the rest of them? Oh god, what is her name? Hold on, let's bring these up. Let's bring these up. Let's get these guys up here. It's funny when I'm scrolling through this because I'm like, who? Who dat? What am I looking for? I'm looking for Braum. I know who Braum is. Braum and Becca. Oh, I remember Becca. Becca. Okay. I think this is all the Fairy Kingdom people. I'll start with Braum. So Braum was from Fairy Kingdom. He was a human. Spoilers. He was a human. His village was attacked by goblins, I believe. or gremlins, something like that. And then he's in love with Becca. Or is that his wife? Are they married? I think they're married. Maybe? Maybe. Or they're friends. I don't remember. They're friendly. Maybe romantically. Anyways, Braum, he was one of my characters. He's just a human. He was very strong. I think he was a blacksmith. I like him. He's good. I like Braum. Becca, again, new Braum, same village. Her baby was kidnapped when their village was attacked and dragged into the fairy woods. I think she was kidnapped as well and brought into the fairy woods. I liked Becca. She was fine. I'll put her in okay. I don't remember much about her, but she was okay. Then we have... oh my gosh, what was her name? Eileen. So Eileen, okay, so she's like a healer who lives in the village with Braum. Oh, sorry, I mixed up Becca and Eileen. So Eileen and Braum had a romantic relationship, but she was a cleric, so she couldn't marry him because she was like part of the church. Becca was just a lady, so her baby was kidnapped. And Braum did go to help save Becca and Eileen. Right, so she got captured by the goblins in the town. Braum goes to save her. And she is forced to marry a chimera, which is a fairy creature that like just kind of amalgamates with like other beings. So when she marries it, she starts getting the ability to like, she kind of becomes a chimera. She like starts melding with other things. So that's why she's got like big ears and like a weird tongue. She has like bat wings in the original drawing. She's just kind of like anything that touches her, she starts glomming onto. And she eventually gets taken by Emerald. He kind of like quote unquote saves her by taking her in to like study her, because it's rare that you find like a chimera who's like just starting to like amalgamate with things. You usually find them after they're like a big mix of things. So he takes her and kind of saves her, and they become friends slowly. I like her a lot. She was really cute. Yeah, I like her more than Umbra. Do I like her more than Thistle and Hemlock? Nah, I don't think so. She was really cute. Then we have... oh my god, what is her name? I don't remember any of my characters, guys. Cordelia. That was her name. So Cordelia was one of my favorite tropes that I still love. It's still a story trope I love. I love when a character is like a secret royalty, a secret princess, secret prince kind of thing, but they're like hiding their identity or they don't know. In this case, Cordelia is kind of hiding her identity. So she is the daughter of the Bloodshore King, who is one of the bad guys. And she ran away and became a mercenary and did like mercenary things, murders. I remember when it started, she was supposed to be like an assassin, but I think she just was more of a mercenary, just doing odd jobs. So at the start of the story, she finds the village that's being attacked by goblins. She joins Braum and them and Edwin and goes into the fairy woods to kind of figure out what's going on. And yeah, I like her a lot. She was really, really cool. And she's gay. So then we have Evangelene, who is... oh wait, I didn't sort her. Sorry. She's up there. She's a Plorbo, you know? Do I like her more than Ambrosia? No. Do I like her more? No. Okay, Evangelene. So Evangelene, she is half human, half unicorn, so she's half fairy. She is Lilac's daughter, if I recall. She doesn't know that. She's a bard. She's very, I remember she was kind of like in denial about being a fairy. Like it made her very uncomfortable because living in like human society, she was very like ridiculed and stuff. But she's like, she has like shiny hair. She has like purple hair. She's really cute. She's really pretty. She was a bard. She was traveling with Cordelia and eventually they kissed. Do I like her more than Cordelia? They're kind of on the same level. I'll just put Cordelia first because she's my character. All right, but she is captured by Lilac. So King Lilac, when they go to his court, he's obsessed with making like a pretty kingdom, right? So he sees her and he's like, oh, you're really pretty, but I don't really have a place for you in my kingdom. So he turns her into a statue, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, poor girly. Poor girly. But she's cute. I like her. Okay, so that is the 4 Fairy Kingdoms RP. Maybe I'll find more, but that's them. So let me see. Is there anything I want to change before I move on? Okay, Braum. Do I like him more than Ratimus? I know more about Braum because he was like a character I played. I don't have space. Oh, I don't have space because they can only have 4 lords or ladies, like 1 for each season. So they have like spring, summer, winter, fall. So he's like, well, I've already got those filled. So he's like, no space. Become a statue. Don't you love fairies? Aren't they so great? Aren't they so good at like emotions and caring for family and stuff? Okay. Prince Ratimus, I love the concept of him, but I think I like Braum more. I think I like him more than Blackthornne, but I like Obsidian more. Do I like Obsidian more than Plum? Kinda. Do I like him more than Saffron? Kinda. Like, I like Saffron, but Obsidian was cool. They're kind of equal. I think he might be up there more, the more I remember him. He was fun. I think I'm gonna move Umbra down. Yeah. Anyways, I can keep shifting them. Alright, now we're on to... We call this, like, the Fairy Tales RP. There's a lot of fairy RPs. Bones and I like fairies. But this is the Fairy Tale RP. It was a lot... It was kind of similar. It was, like, humans living near, like, fairy woods. Fairies are very dangerous. They can show up and put curses on you. But they're not, like... It didn't have the whole marriage mechanic where, like, if a fairy marries a human, the human becomes a fairy, etc. Or, like, fairies are stealing kingdoms. It's just, like, there are kingdoms established already, and there are fairies in the world, and you have to watch out because fairies can show up and curse you. So, we start with Prince Alexi. So, this was my fella. Oh, is he a sweet baby angel? He might be at top of Blorbos. Anyways, Alexi, he is adorable. He's a butthead. Listen, what I'm learning is I just love characters who are huge jerks. But he's a huge, huge butthead. So he, in his kingdom, he's the crown prince. He can't ascend the throne until he marries. There's just like a rule in his kingdom where like he has to be married in order to become the king. And so he is engaged to Eleanor, who I will show soon. And they were engaged for a long time. He kept putting it off and putting it off. And then finally she accidentally was like cursed by a fairy. And then he broke it off with her. And they're still kind of friends just because like they've known each other for so long, but he's being a real butthead to her. He's just like insulting her the whole time. That's his like main form of communication, is just like insulting people. And he is currently, like when the RP starts, he's going to meet, I think Princess Lorelei? No, Rosalie. Princess Rosalie, he's gonna meet her and like marry her. She's like a very pretty princess from a neighboring kingdom. But anyways, the reason he's so mean and he keeps like finding ways to like not marry is because he's gay. But he's like in denial, and there's no gay marriage in his kingdom. So he's just like putting it off and like being in denial and being a huge butthead. But yeah, I love him. He's stupid and I love him. He's up here. He's on the cusp of being a sweet baby angel because I love him so much. He's such a dickhead, but I just love him. He's complex, you know? So that's Prince Alexi. Then we have Lady Eleanor. So that's the lady he was engaged to for a long time. And they're honestly like close friends. Like, they were kind of besties. And then as soon as like they were engaged, he started like pulling away from her and being mean. A smooth break complex is crazy work. But anyway, so they were like best friends, and then he like pulled away as soon as they were engaged. He's mean because he's gay. Shut up. he's lashing out. Listen, I don't know what it says about me. He's one of my favorite characters, but he is. So Eleanor, she's in love with him. She's like genuinely has feelings for him, and she's very, very hurt when he like calls off the engagement. And the reason she was cursed is because she's captured by the Horse Lord, who is a fairy who he essentially just like kidnaps beautiful women and turns them into horses. That's his thing. I don't know. Anyway, so she's turned into a horse. She's gifted to one of the fairy queens. She's just called the Fairy Queen. And the queen meets her and she explains like, oh, I'm in love with the human prince, but he doesn't return my feelings. And like, I really want him to propose to me and blah, blah, blah. I remember this part of the secret stream. And the Fairy Queen is like it touches her heart. The Horse Lord has a type and that's all. Exactly. Listen, wait till you meet Aubrey. So, it was so sad how cruel this guy was and how desperate the horse lady was. I know! He's into horse. Exactly. He sees a pretty lady, he's like, wow, you'd be a beautiful horse. And we're like, okay, man, listen. Whoa. Anyway, so she touches the queen's heart, and the Fairy Queen is like, okay, I'll give you a chance. If you go back, I'll turn you into human. If you go back to your prince and he agrees to marry you, then like he has to put a ring on your finger. That's like the whole thing, and he has to say I love you and put a ring on you. Then you can stay as a human, but if he doesn't, then you will be turned back into a horse and taken back to my kingdom. And taken to the Horse Lord. And Eleanor's like, man, deal. Because she's like, I'm sure he loves me. I'm sure he'll make this official. But anyways, so she goes back. He keeps putting it off. She starts getting like horsey features as she slowly starts turning back into a horse, and he rejects her because he's like, no, you're ugly, you're cursed, I don't want anything to do with you. And so she's heartbroken, and then he goes off to like meet this other princess and get engaged. So he's a bad friend. And she's a wonderful lady, and I feel really bad for her. But yeah, in the story, Anyways, there's more to it. I love this RP. Where is she? I like her a lot. Do I like her more than Cordelia? Yes. Do I like her more than Azalea? Yes. Lilac. Maybe. Caleb? Maybe. I like her less than Lilac, but she's up there. I like Eleanor a lot. The Horse Lord. So I've already told you a lot about the Horse Lord. He's also secretly like a really evil guy. Okay, I mean, kidnapping women and turning them to horses, already pretty bad. But he's actually like the big bad of the whole story. Wait, is he? No, isn't he? Oh my god, I'm forgetting. I think he is. Yeah. Maybe. Shoot. What did Bone's secret stream say? It's hard to remember because this was like lore stuff that Bones told me after we'd kind of gone slow on the RP. Right, he's the protector of wild horses. He frees horses from riders. What else? What else does he do? He's a horse. Thanks, Bones. Okay, I actually don't remember if he was the big bad, but Horse Lord, he's fine. He's there with, like, Prince Ratimus. You know, he's fun. Okay. Now we go to Nibirius, or Nab. He's my favorite character from the RP. He's a sweet baby angel, okay? Nab, he's a fairy, and he's a goat. He's an imp. So, in this story, the imps are, a lot of them are based off like barnyard animals, but they're just like troublemakers. They're little trickster fairies. So they really like to just mess with people and cause tricks. He loves pranks. He was gonna do a prank where he was really trying to impress the fairy queen. So he stole like all the sheep from the surrounding area and brought them to her, and she's like, I don't want these sheep. But he's like, is it funny I stole the sheep? And she's like, I don't get it, get the sheep away. but he's sweet. He's not a himbo. He's not like strong and hot enough to be a himbo, but he's got that vibe. He's just a dumb little prankster. So he's a goat, and he falls in love with Eleanor. And he's in love with her because as she starts turning into a horse, he's a goat. He likes other barnyard animals. Working on the himbo status. He's just got to work out more. So he sees her turning into a horse. He's like, oh my god, she's so beautiful. I've never seen a human so beautiful. What the heck? So he's like, I'm going to steal her and love her. So he, on the full moon, he's able to swap places with Prince Alexi. So it kind of works like masks. He like swaps faces with him. It's like switching masks. So Alexi becomes a goat. And Nab becomes Alexi. So he looks like a human, and he sneaks in, and they're on their way back from like the party where they meet the new princess, and he he puts all his sheep in the road to stop their carriage, and he lures Alexi out, and he swaps faces with him. Then he jumps back in the carriage, and they run off, and Alexi's like, "Wait, go back!" But he's just a little goat, so no one notices that he's gone. And I think at night he turns into a human. I don't remember. I think it is. I think it's like under the moonlight he gets his human form, but in the day he's a goat. And so Nab, he's stealing your girl. But he doesn't know about like all the context around their relationship, so she's like devastated and like, it's too late. I'm gonna be stolen by fairies and turned into a horse. You rejected me. There's no turning back now. And he's like, wait, but I love you. And she's like, well, too late, bozo. So yeah, so that's their relationship. And so eventually she is turned into a horse and kidnapped by the horse lord. Yeah, the first baby Ankle. I love Nab. He's my baby. And anyway, so she's kidnapped by the fairies. He's like, well, I need to go on a quest to get her back because I'm in love with her. And he plans to put a ring on it and marry her and save her. So Nab is my baby Ankle. Okay, Aubrey, she's my autistic baby. She's my autistic child. She's my daughter. So Aubrey, she is obsessed with horses. That's her special interest. She's a horse girl. She works in the palace stables. She used to, as a child, go to the valley, like the meadow where the horse lord was supposed to live, and she would just sit there hoping one day he would take her and turn her into a horse, and she would live her life as a horse, but he never did. So sad. So sad for Aubrey. And so she works in the palace, she works in the stables, she loves the horses, she's not good with people. And she does start getting harassed by imps that are kind of hanging around. I believe Nab and his crew are one of them. And so they do. And so when he returns to the palace as the prince, he sees Aubrey and he's like, oh my god, I remember you. We used to play tricks on you, blah, blah, blah. But he has to like pretend to be human. If he's found out, he'll turn back into an imp. So he needs to, I think he has to stay as a human for a whole year, I believe then, and then he'll solidify and he'll fully switch places with Alexi. But anyways, he used to tease Aubrey and play tricks on her. So what he does is he puts imp mites, I believe, or imp lice, I forget what it is, but it's basically just a bit of magic. He puts it on her and it starts turning her into a donkey because he thinks it's really funny. I don't get it. It's fairy logic. He just thinks it's hilarious that even though she loves horses, she'll be turned into a donkey. So that's what he does because he's a jerk and I love him. So Aubrey, she's just sweet. She loves animals. She's very sweet and caring. She helps Nab on his quest to go save Eleanor. When Eleanor turns into a horse, Aubrey takes care of her. Like, she's just sweet. She's kind of up here. She's kind of a sweet baby angel. I really like Aubrey. She's Bones' character. She's really cute. Then we have Titan. Titan is also from this RP. He's one of the horses. He's just a horse. So he's one of the royal horses. He's good. He comes on the adventure because they need a horse to travel. And as Aubrey turns into a donkey, she can start speaking with the animals, so he talks with her a lot. He's just nice because like she took care of him as a stable hand, and he's like, yeah, you're my friend. And he's just a good horse. He's up there. I like Titan a lot. He's not a Blorbo, but I like Titan a lot. Liam. So Liam is another stable hand. He's kind of in love with Aubrey. He's just a human dude. And so he's always looking out for her because she kind of like she's a little too absorbed in the stable work, and she often sleeps in the stable. So he's always like trying to make sure that she takes a break and like is good, and and he's in love with her. But she doesn't notice him. She's not interested in him at all. So he follows her around. He notices when she gets cursed. He cares. He's like worried about her, and he really doesn't like Nab, who he thinks is Alexi. And he's like, I don't like you. You're really nasty to my friend who I'm in love with. I think he punches him at one point. I forget what Alexi does, or sorry, what Nab does. But I know Liam punched him, and then he's like, oh god, I'm gonna be executed. I just punched the prince. I think it was because Nab was doing something mean to Aubrey. But anyways, so he goes on their adventure. I like Liam. He's pretty good. I think I like him. He's like here. I like him a little more than Eleanor, just because he's my character. But I like him a lot. He's dumb. He's a stupid boy who needs to learn, like, toxic masculinity is bad. Then there's Liam's dog. I forget her name, but she's a fairy. So he has this dog that he's had forever, and she is a fairy. She's a kind of fairy, like a shepherd dog kind of fairy that like gets attached to a person and like follows them around, and she can detect other fairies. So she notices Nab immediately. She's like, oh, Nab is a bad fairy. I don't trust him. So she's always like growling at him and stuff. And Liam's like, stop. Don't growl at the prince. Bad dog. I forget what her deal is exactly, but she comes along. He's mean. I love him. It all makes sense. Shut up. I just like mean characters. My type. Oh, okay. So she's good. I don't really remember her much. She's probably here with Becca. Like, she's okay. I don't think we got into her story that much. I think if we'd gotten into it more, I would have liked her a lot more. Then we have Nadia. So she's again from this RP. She's a fairy. She's like a frost fairy, like a wintry fairy. As they go through the palace, so as they go on their journey to save Eleanor, they're going through the fairy wood, and then they hit this spot that's just like wintry. It's like the middle of summer, but it's like full winter here, and they're like, what the heck is this? And they find this beautiful manor, and this girl comes riding up. She's like the freaking Ice Queen from Narnia. Anyway, she comes up and she's like, oh, come stay at my manor. I'll take care of you. And she basically tries to like kidnap Aubrey. She's like she acts all nice to them. If I remember her story, she was like, I think her story was like she was once a human who like her home was like taken over by fairies, and she's since become this like fairy lady who just lives in this like winter wonderland in her manor. But anyways, so she sees Aubrey, who has become a donkey, and she's like, oh, like I have all these like horses that I used to pull my sleigh. How many of these characters are extremely traumatized? All of them. Every single one. Except maybe Wolf. So Nadia, so she's got these horses that pull her sleigh, and she's like, oh, Aubrey could stay here and protect them, because like donkeys are used to protect like herds of like farm animals. So she's like, oh, she could protect them, she could take care of them, and like I could keep Liam as like a stable hand, and I could have Titan as like one of my horses, but she wants to get rid of Nab because he's like, no, they're coming with me. She also kind of starts to notice that he's not a human, which starts like making his magic fail, and his mask starts slipping off a little bit. So he's like, we gotta get out of here. So Nadia like is trying to steal his party members. And I think that's kind of where we left off in the RP. I don't think we got much farther than that, but yeah, she was a bit of an antagonist. I like her. She's probably like here. I like her. She's not one of my favorites, but I like her. Mary. Oh, Mary is an imp. She's a little sheep imp who was part of like a gang with Nab. So she's really adorable. She's like kind of sleepy and dumb. She likes playing pranks. She's great. I like her. We didn't really get into her much. She was a bit of a side character. I like Mary. She's really cute. Spud is the same thing. He was a little sheepy. Or was he a goat? I don't remember. But I like Spud. He's up here with Mary. He was another part of Nab's gang. And they had a bit of a split because he went off to try and impress the Fairy Queen, and they feel betrayed. So when they meet again, they're all like, ugh, Nab. Well, actually, they don't realize it's Nab, but he's like, oh, those are my friends. And they're being led around by Lazarus, if I'm remembering correctly, who is another imp. And I don't know what his deal was. He was up to something nefarious. But Nab was all jealous because he stole his friends. But he couldn't tell them because he had to pretend to be a human. So he's like up there. I don't know anything about him. I'll put him in. He's okay. Fenwick. Who the hell is Fenwick? Who? Hold on. Who the frick is Fenwick? Oh, Lazarus was a brownie. So he's like a wolf. Lazarus is like a wolf fairy who's like protective of Mary and Spud. And Nab doesn't like him. But who's Fenwick? Oh, I remember. Okay, I totally forgot about Fenwick. I wouldn't be able to rank my OCs. It's hard. Okay, Fenwick was a... He's like a deer. He's a fairy. He's a deer. He's like a little fawn. And he... So Nadia, she took over... I mixed up her story. So this manor that she has used to belong to humans. They had indentured Fenwick, who's a fairy, and used him to like protect the animals and stuff. But eventually the humans like died or left, and their home was taken over by the fairy woods. But when they find Fenwick, he's like stuck in the stable with all these horses that he's protecting. And he's like injured and like couldn't leave. So he was just like trapped there forever. Just like wasting away. Because the humans just like left him to perish. So Fenwick was like really shy. He was very jumpy. He cared a lot about the animals. I remember Liam and him were kind of becoming friends. And he was trying to get Fenwick out of there. But yeah, I like him. I don't remember much about him, but I like him. He's like up here. It's like Spud and Mary. Next we have James. So, what was James's relationship? I think he's Alexi's cousin. He's like second in line to the throne. If I recall, he didn't have like a huge desire to become like king, but like if Alexi didn't marry, James would probably be passed on the title of king and like marry and take the throne kind of thing. So he gets tricked by a fairy. He steps into a fairy ring by accident and gets kind of held captive by a fairy for a little bit, and she puts a curse on him where he starts turning into like a griffin creature. I don't know what her plan was. We didn't get that far in the story, but he's like on a quest to like stop his his curse, because he's worried. I think he's worried that like the fairies will like come in and try to take over his kingdom kind of thing. Hello, Martian. But James was cool. He was on like a little mystery trip. I like James. He was fun. He's like, I like him less than Titan, but I liked him. I like James a lot. Oh, who is this? I forget her name. Like, I know who it is, but I forget her name. Alana. Right. Okay, Alana. Okay, if I'm remembering correctly, Alana, she's like a lady who was supposed to go on a date with James. So that was kind of how James was tricked by the fairy. He was trying to meet Alana for a date, and then he somehow got captured by this fairy in the fairy ring. Alana gets... So this evil fairy, I think she's like the mushroom fairy, she has two imps that work for her, Socrates and Pebbles. And she sends her imps to trade spots with Olana and Edmund, who's like a royal guard, to like keep an eye on James and make sure the plan is happening. Are all of these anime main characters because I think they're traumatized? Yes, exactly. But she gets swapped with Pebbles, who is a skunk imp. I love Pebbles so much. And she gets kind of whisked away into like the fairy world. She did have a maid character who's like in love with her, who I don't remember the name of. I'm sure we'll come across it. But anyways, so she gets whisked off to the fairy world. She ends up with Edmund, and they start kind of having a bit of a romance as they try to escape the fairy world. Alana is okay. I don't remember much about her, but she was fun. She was cute. Edmund, he's the royal guard. He gets switched with Socrates.
The best way to create a good main character is dump that toxic trauma chemical soup.
Hell yeah, exactly. That's how you get them. I know Bones will fight you on this. He's like, you don't need to traumatize a character to have a good character. But I personally like a traumatized character. So Edmund, he's a royal guard. He gets swapped with Socrates, who's this like rat imp who works for the mushroom fairy. And he was okay. He was fine. So he's like a rat, she's like a skunk. They get stuck in the fairy world. They were fine. Pebbles! I love Pebbles. Pebbles is like up here. Pebbles. Pebbles, so she's a little skunk imp. She was really stupid. She was dumb. I love her. She's just dumb and sweet. I love her so much. That's it. I love stupid. Exactly. Dumb characters, yes. She's dumb, but I love her. She does, Mean characters list table. No, mean and dumb. Yes. The thing is, okay, let me explain to you why a mean character is great. Because they start off awful, but as the story goes on, they become nice people. And they like earn it, you know? They earn their happy ending by becoming good people. That's my justification and I'm sticking with it. That's where my OC is going to be. Lo stupid. That's it. Okay, Socrates, he's the rat imp. He's really cute. I like him a lot. I don't love him as much as Pebbles, but he's up there. I like him more than Titan. Mother Imp. Is that... I think this is like the Mushroom Fairy. I think this is the one who tricks everyone. Oh, the other thing with Pebbles that makes me love her so much, sorry, I just remembered. So she's pretending to be Olana, who's like a lady. And she starts falling in love with Iona? Is that her name? Yeah, Iona. Who's like a lady friend. And she gets like sussed out immediately because she's really dumb. So she turns back into an imp. She loses her mask, basically. And then, but she's befriended Olana and they're in love. So it's cute and it's fine. Okay, so Mother Imp is the Mushroom Fairy. So she lives beneath the castle. She keeps like tricking people. She's the one who tricked James and is turning him to a creature. She kidnapped Olana and Edmund. She was up to something. She seemed to, I don't know what she was up to, but she was good. She was good. I don't know what she was up to, but she was good. She can hang out with the Horse Lord. I like the Horse Lord more. Then we have, I think this is Lorelei, right? Yeah, Lorelei. So she's a bookseller. She kind of has a romance with James. They're kind of into each other. But he meets up with her a lot to just swap research. Because he's like looking into like books on the fairies to try and stop his curse, and then they meet up and they start kind of crushing on each other. And she eventually, as they're looking into this, she gets cursed and turned into a book. Yeah, I like her. She's like up here with James. Yeah. Lorelei's cute. So this is Iona. So she is... Oh, she wasn't a lady. She was Olana's handmaid. So this is Olana, who has swapped identities with Pebbles. So Iona is her maid, who had a bit of a crush on Olana, but then befriends Pebbles. And they're like besties / maybe girlfriend. I don't know. She loves pigeons. She adores them. She cares for all these pigeons. She spent her childhood cursed, so she's very nervous about fairies. She was able to break the curse, I believe, and I think she gets re-cursed. Oh, and she's actually a mage. She has magic. I don't know where this was gonna go. It was a whole plot. She had magic secretly. And I think she was being hunted down by one of like the evil fairy king's people, because for plot reasons, they just wanted all the mages, right? So her and Pebbles escape. And they're adorable. I love them. Yeah, she's like up here with like James and Lorelei and them. Okay, so then we have Rosalie. So she was a big character. So she was the princess who Alexi was going to court. She is a sun mage, which is very rare. She gets her powers from the sun. She's kind of like her power could like stop the evil king's plans. I don't really exactly know what the evil king's plans were. It was something with like a moonstone or something taking over the world, eternal night. I don't know. I don't really remember. But anyways, but her powers could stop him. And she's very rare and powerful. She's captured by a witch. Who is Granny Bog. She gets rescued by a knight from her kingdom named Zara. They're kind of in love. But Zara gets banished because I think it was because of homophobia. No, it wasn't. It was not. Ursula. I mean, they weren't allowed to be together because of homophobia, but they are in love, and Rosalie's like, my knight will come and save me. But anyways, so Rosalie, she's captured by a witch, she gets rescued by Zara, they go home. Then Rosalie's mom, the queen, falls ill and passes away. And then the king marries another lady who's like the evil stepmother. Turns out to be Granny Bog. In disguise as a lady. And so she starts stealing Rosalie's magic and being really mean to her. She sends Zara away. That's why she gets sent away. She's like, well, I don't want this knight who can defeat me, so she's gonna be sent away. And that's why Zara isn't there. And Rosalie's like, I just miss Zara. And then she also has two stepsisters, Delilah and Gardenia, who are mean to her. So they were girls who were kidnapped by Granny Bog, and their memories were taken. So they're kind of like bewitched to be really mean to Rosalie and stuff, even though they're actually like sweethearts. So anyways, so she's got this situation. She's kind of like kept hidden, and the excuse is like, oh, we don't want that witch to come back and kidnap you, even though her stepmom is actually the witch. So she's kind of kept away, but they're gonna have a ball where she's gonna be like debuted to everyone, and maybe meet the prince and marry him and stuff. But anyways, but at the ball, Granny Bog puts a curse on her, which will help her like control her and steal her magic, and she starts turning into like a dragon creature, and she gets locked away by Granny Bog. And then eventually she's gonna like escape and stuff. Rosalie is pretty cute. I like her a lot. Do I like her more than Wolf? No. Do I like her more than Edmund? No. Calum? No. Liam? Yeah, she's like here. I like these guys a bit more, but she's here. But she's up there. She's a Blorbo. Okay, Granny Bog. So yeah, so she was the witch. She's like a fairy witch who kidnapped Rosalie. She's also kidnapped the two sisters and changed their memories and stuff. So she's like trying to get power, I think, with like the fairy king. But was bested by Zara. But yeah, she's trying to turn Rosalie into a dragon worm creature and control her. I like her a lot. She was a villain. It was like one of my first tries at playing a villain character. I like her. She's cool. Yeah, she's like there. She's fine. Well, is she? I don't know. She's somewhere in here. I'll put her down here. No, I like them. She's like in I like them. first attempts at villainy. It was really hard. I have so much trouble with it because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be mean and have bad things happen. And Bones is like, no, make bad things happen. And I'm like, no. So then we have Gardenia. So she's one of the girls that Granny Bog kidnapped. So she was like kind of bewitched to be really mean to Rosalie. She has a temper, just kind of as her personality, but like she's a sweet girl. But what happens is, so when Granny Bog curses Rosalie at the ball, and she starts turning into a monster, like a dragon, because she goes kind of feral as she like turns into a dragon, and people are scared of her and stuff, and they're scared like, oh no, there's been a curse, blah blah blah, because everyone's afraid of fairies, right? So and Granny Bog is like, I don't want someone to come and like rescue her or uncurse her, so she like locks her in a labyrinth in the palace, and she's like, I need something to guard the labyrinth, so she takes Gardenia and turns her into like a minotaur, and she's got this little chain on her nose that if you hold the chain, you can control her, but other than that, she's like really strong and scary, right? To guard the labyrinth and keep Rosalie from being found. I love Gardenia. That's like a kind of reworked version of her. In the original, she was like cursed by a fairy who turned her into a minotaur. But I love Gardenia. She's definitely that type of like a mean character who is secretly a sweetie who like slowly becomes good. I also relate to her as a cow myself. But she's a character who has like a lot of like image problems where like she's expected to be really pretty, but she's like a little bit bigger, and then she gets cursed to be like a big cow. And just listen, okay? I relate. PCOS is a curse. I like her a lot. She's definitely a Blorbo. Oh. Yeah, she's like up here. I like Gardenia. Then we have Yuna. So Yuna is a servant in the palace. She gets cursed by, I believe she gets cursed by Socrates in the original story. So I don't know where she would have fallen into like the rework, but in the original story, she meets Gardenia and starts helping her in the labyrinth. And she gets cursed by Socrates. It would have changed in the new version because, like, in the original, Gardenia did not end up like guarding Rosalie. She was in like the whole other kingdom with like Alexi and stuff. But anyways, Yuna was like her friend, and she gets cursed by Socrates, and she starts turning into a mouse. I liked Yuna. She was pretty good. She was cute. Her and Gardenia were buddies. I'll put her like up here. Like kind of. Yeah, she's above Granny Bog, I think. Granny Bog, I'm gonna move you here. Here. Yeah. I don't know about you. But yeah, Yuna is cute. Delilah. So Delilah is Gardenia's sister. So she again is cursed to like be mean to Rosalie. She was kidnapped by Granny Bog as a child. She is kind of like, so if Gardenia is like has the temper and like causes problems, Delilah is trying to like paper over the problems and keep like the peace between everybody. She in the original story gets lost in the fairywood and kidnapped by like a silk moth spider creature. It like gives her a dress that she puts on, and it's like enchanted, so then it like unravels the dress and it turns her into like a tiny little fairy that she then gets put in a jar, and then she's trying to escape and she meets this like little pixie prince who's like also in the jars and they were going to escape. So Delilah is cute. I like her a lot. She's up here. She's like Blorbo material. Yeah. She's in there somewhere. Delilah's cute. Zara. Okay, so Zara was the knight who was part of Rosalie's kingdom, became close with her. They're kind of girlfriends. She went and saved her from Granny Bog when she was kidnapped as a child. Zara is banished by Granny Bog when Granny Bog becomes like the evil stepmother, and she sends her away so she can't be defeated. And Zara, she gets captured by Princess Papillon, who is a little dog fairy who turns all of her knights into dogs and has them guard her tower. Papillon has like a really sad story. I think she was like a princess in a tower who like got turned into like a werewolf or something, and then like people would come to save her and she just like werewolf out on them and murder them, and then she died and then became like a little fairy who then just turns people into dogs. It's really sad. This story was a lot of like kind of if you die in a fairy wood, you become like a fairy. So I think that's like what happened to Nadia. Like she died in the cold and became like a winter fairy. That dog in her was too overwhelming, yes. But yeah, I think because she was a werewolf, they then like went and slayed her. It was sad, poor Papillon. But anyway, so Zara is a dog knight. And she's trying to get back to Rosalie to save her. I like Zara. She's up here with Delilah. She's a blurbo. Papillon. I like Papillon a lot. She's up here too. I just told her story. I won't do it again. Girl. Who is Girl? Girl. Who are you? Who is Girl? But who was Phone? Oh, now I remember. Okay, so Zara bumps into Girl on her adventure. I'm probably going to put her in, like, I don't remember, because I don't remember anything. But Girl, she was just, like, a human who was kidnapped by fairies, and she was being sold in, like, a fairy market. She doesn't have any memories. And anyway, Zara met her on her travels and saved her and was traveling with her. So that was Girl. Oh, okay, and then the witch and Nightshade. So the witch and Nightshade kind of go together. So there's the witch, and then Nightshade is her cat. So the witch meets Zara on her quest and turns Zara back into a human, but in return, she turns the girl into a dog. Because she can't, like, remove the magic, but she could, like, transfer it. So she turns the girl into a dog, and then Zara into a human so she can go back to the human world. I don't really remember them, so they can go here. Svanna. Who's Svanna? Who? Okay, so apparently she was the fairy who was selling the girl at the market. She had her cape stolen, so she can't leave her post. I think she was turned into a swan. I don't remember you. Then we have Albin. Okay, I'm gonna be real. Albin might be up here. He might be a sweet baby angel. Selling, yeah, it's fairy stuff, okay. You know? I'm sorry, Ors. It's fine. Zara saved her and she got turned into a dog, and now she lives a good life. On a farm upstate. Okay, Albin, I love him. He's dating Alexi. Okay, they're not actually, but they were meant to be. Okay. So, Albin, he's like an ancient prince. He was like Sleeping Beauty, locked away. I guess more like Snow White. Anyways. Yeah, he was kind of snow whited. Oh wait, I just realized I can make Nab and Eleanor kiss. Okay. Okay, so Albin, he's like from an ancient kingdom. He was locked away in like a coffin. That eventually Alexi finds. He's like wandering through the fairy wood as a little goat, and he finds this like cave that's like surrounded by monsters, and he gets in and he finds this coffin, and there's this guy sleeping in it, and he gives him a little kiss. But not in a homo way, okay? He will never... anyways. But anyway, so Alexi wakes him up. And, it's not gay to kiss the homies goodnight. You're right, exactly. See, you're fine, Alexi. So anyway, so he wakes up Albin from his slumber. And Albin, he reveals he's like from this ancient kingdom. His father locked him away. His father turns out to be the fairy king. He's a sun mage, so like Rosalie, so he has like the power to stop the fairy king from like taking over the world. And he was locked away because of this. I actually think his mom locked him away to like keep him safe. But anyways. So he goes traveling with Alexi. They're like, we've got to go stop this evil plan to take over the world. Oh, sorry. He sealed himself away. I'm mixing up two versions of this. So he was Granny Bog's first attempt at like whatever evil stuff she's doing. So she was gonna take his sun power, turn him into a dragon worm thing, same as she's doing to Rosalie. So he sealed himself away to stop this from happening. That's right. So him and Alexi are going off. I remember he was gonna make like a sunstone, because he could use his sun powers to do that with something that could stop the evil king. I don't remember. But anyways, Alexi starts getting a big crush on him. Also, when he uses his power, he starts to turn to stone. Remember that. So he didn't want to use his power because he'd start turning into a statue. And that wasn't great. It would fade after a bit, but you know, you're kind of vulnerable if you get turned into stone. And you just have a little goat to protect you. But yeah, they were in love. I like Albin a lot. He's really cute. Is Alexi a sweet baby Angle? I don't know. There. They're top tier Blorbos. Okay. So I don't really know the story of this upcoming character. So this is the Fairy Queen. This was all stuff Bones revealed to me after we kind of stopped the RP for a little while. So like I don't really know her all that well. So I'm kind of just reading off the PowerPoint that Bones made. Sweet Baby Angel is a hard position to get early in this. Yeah, it is. I might go back at the end and decide if any of them are like Sweet Baby Angles. But, okay, so the Fairy Queen, she was once a human. She got kidnapped by a dragon and then saved by, like, a frog prince kind of thing. And they marry. And then... So, right, so she's hiding from the dragon. The Frog King goes and slays the dragon. The dragon comes back as, like, a ghost and is harassing them. And then... there's a prophecy that her son Albin is going to slay the dragon. To protect him, she starts trying to kill him. I don't exactly understand the logic, but yeah, she was trying to kill Albin as a way to protect him. Because, like, dying with fairies, you know, you can get trapped as a fairy kind of thing. So I think she was trying to save him from, like, that fate. But eventually she gets locked away. She escapes and they kill her. She dies in the fairy forest and becomes the fairy queen. So she's actually the one that Nab was trying to impress. Yeah. So that's the fairy queen. I like her. She's good. She's up here. I like the fairy queen. She's fun. Okay, then we have the fairy king. This is another one I don't know all the details of. This was Bones' plan. He related it to me later, so I'm very fuzzy on the details. So the fairy king, he's the big bad of the story. He's trying to kill Albin. He's trying to take over the world. Granny Bog is working for him. So he was once a mage who was turned into a little frog. He eventually saves the queen, becomes like the frog prince, slays the dragon. Oh, apparently he's gonna steal the moon and take over the world. That's his plan. Right, okay, so he slays the dragon, and then the dragon's ghost that was, like, harassing them takes over him. So that kind of turns him evil. He's trying to use Albin to make the moonstone, which will then let him, like, steal the moon, take over the world. And he uses the moonstone to become the fairy king. And then plot. He's like with the horse lord. For some reason I thought he was the horse lord, but I think he's working with the horse lord. I don't know. I don't remember. The seer. The seer was another character. Didn't understand what they were up to. So she was a witch. She was gifted the dragon's eyes. So this dragon that, like, was killed and was harassing the royals and stuff. So that allows her to, like, see prophecy and to, like, see crazy things. She's got the dragon's eyes. So she tells Granny Bog, like, your plan's not going to work. You're going to be defeated. This freaks out Granny Bog. She's also the seer's also the one who tells the fairy king that, like, Albin will one day, like, kill him. So then that leads to him, like, cursing Albin and working with Granny Bog and all this stuff. So the seer, she was fine. I don't remember much about her. She was cool. Lydia. Oh, Lydia! Okay, I remember Lydia. So this was a bit of a spin-off. We really liked the world, but we were kind of, like, getting into, like, the big heavy plot stuff, which can be hard in RPs because sometimes you're like, I just want to do cozy stuff or, like, fluffy plot, and then when you get into, like, the big kind of end game plot, it can be, like, a lot. So anyways, we took a break. We did, like, a little side story. So Lydia, she is she's in... Okay, so she's a baker. She gets invited to, like, this fancy party. And there's a fairy that's, like, jealous of her. Who gives her... And she's, like, Lydia because she's friends with, like, a noble lady, I believe. And gets invited to this party. And she's kind of made fun of because she's, you know, not of nobility. And so she's like, well, I need to be beautiful to get these people to, like, be nice to me. And then meanwhile, there's this fairy that has shown up and is kind of infiltrating society and gets really jealous of Lydia and gives her makeup. And she's like, it'll make you beautiful, but actually it's cursed. And so Lydia starts using the makeup. She starts off getting really beautiful, but then the curse kind of takes hold and she starts turning into, like, a crystal plant creature that, like, entrances people. And yeah, so we didn't finish that one, but that was Lydia's story. I like Lydia. She's cute. She's like up here, you know? Right. So there's... Where is she? Lady Gwen. So Lady Gwen is the jealous fairy. She's fine. So yeah, she was the one who was jealous of Lydia. Yeah. Cursed her. Elsie. Who's Elsie? I believe Elsie... Oh, she's the rich friend. Okay, Elsie is like the lady who's like friends with Lydia and invites her to all the parties. And Elsie had a crush on her. But yeah. And she was like, I don't think you should be using this makeup. It's changing you, girly. But anyway, so when she gets cursed and like by fairies and stuff, she's like, I gotta save her. So I like Elsie. And then there's Bernard. So he's a lord. So he's the reason he's the reason Lady Gwen the fairy is jealous, because he starts noticing Lydia at the party. And when Lydia starts, and so Gwen then is jealous, gives her the cursed makeup, she gets cursed. Bernard, he gets freaked out by the curse. I think he kind of leaves. I know he gets kind of entranced by her because of the curse magic. Bernard's okay. He's kind of down here. He's kind of meh. Gwen, she's like down here. I like Alana. I like Liam's dog more than Gwen. Okay, so that is the fairy tale RP. Damn, that's a lot of characters. And we got our first sweet baby angels. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this all in one stream. I think this might be a part 1. But let's keep going. Let's do one more RP. Yeah. Oh no, Matica's sad because it's raining and she thinks it's a thunderstorm. Poor girly. Arnar. It's okay, Maruka. Okay. So, the next RP is the less evil fairies. So once again, we've got our fairies. We love fairies. We RP them a lot because we like all the magic stuff they do. Madoka, come here. Girly. Madoka. Madoka. Can we get some Madokas in chat? We can call her. Madoka. Madoka. Fairies for the win. We love fairies. We're like Sarah J. Maas up in here. Madoka, they're summoning you. She won't come down. She's like, no, I'm staying upstairs. But girl, that's closer to the rain. Okay. So less evil fairy RP. This was a world, an RP world where there are fairies. It's in a modern setting. The other two were in kind of like medieval-ish era, you know? But this is in a modern setting. Fairies are integrated into society. So like everyone's aware of fairies. They're not like mysterious things that live in the woods. And fairies are inherently good in this world. So they like, they put curses on people to kind of teach them lessons or just like as an inherent thing that they do. But they're not evil. They cannot like be malicious against humans in any way. Like malice is like a human thing. So like there are points, like some lore stuff, like more kind of big plot things where characters or like fairies are kind of like mingled with humans and that makes them evil. We didn't end up getting to that point in the RP where we saw like the evil malicious human stuff. For the most part it was just like cute fairies doing cute things. But they cannot inherently do something evil or malicious or bad to a human. They just, in their nature, will do a curse or something or mess with a human. And typically a human needs to, like, do something to, like, break that curse. But it's never done to, like, hurt a human. And it's usually reversible. Sometimes it can be hard to reverse, but it's reversible. So, we have Mordecai. So Mordecai was Bones' kind of main character. He's a social worker. That's a big part of the RP. We focused a lot on, like, social workers who kind of help fairies integrate with human society, because they kind of have to. A lot of them are kind of, like, pushed out of their habitats. That was a big thing too, like environmentalism kind of, where they're trying to integrate fairies into human society. Mordecai was someone who worked with a lot of fairies. He'd often, like, he was also kind of like a detective who would, you know, he'd find, like, people are being cursed, like, let's go track down this fairy and make sure that they're, like, not being mistreated. A lot of fairies are kind of, like, mistreated by humans. So let's go make sure that this fairy is okay, and let's kind of find ways to mitigate how much they affect humans. So he's very logical, very cool dude. He has a really sad backstory. He's, like, a character with a lot of trauma. His mom made him... No, sorry. His mom was very depressed, and she kind of tricked a fairy into cursing her in a way that, like, killed her, essentially. She stole a painting from a fairy, which then, like, pulled the mom into the painting, and then she destroyed the painting. So, you know, whatever sad thing that implies. So Mordecai was, like, lost his mom, was very upset. And he's still friends with the fairy that the mom kind of tricked, and the fairy feels, like, really, really awful that, like, the mom is gone. Like, she wouldn't have intended that in any way. So, yeah. And then Mordecai, I think, was raised by, like, relatives. That's his sad story. And he became a social worker to help fairies and humans. And he gets afflicted by, like, a kind of human-influenced curse. He gets afflicted by, he becomes, what did I call them? A cinder? Oh, what was it? It was a cool name. It was like a cinder something wolf. Cinder Smoke Wolf? Anyways, he gets affected by, like, an evil fairy. So this is a fairy that, like, was mixed with a human at some point and has, like, bad intentions. So it curses him, and he turns into basically, like, a fire werewolf. Where, like, everything he touches, like... I like Mordecai! He's up here. He's up here. So anyways, he becomes kind of like a fire werewolf, so if he bites people, they get, like, turned into wolves and stuff. Do they? I don't remember. Actually, I don't know if he turns people, but he turns feral and is, like, dragging people off into the woods. And he, like, burns down part of the woods, and he gets, like... They have to put him in, like, a special facility, because, like, he's dangerous to the public, but, like, they can't murder him. He's a person. So he's in, like, a weird predicament. So that's Mordecai. I like him. He's a Blorbo. He was the first time I really, like, worked out a curse. Because Bones and I will, like, kind of make curses for each other, for our characters, just to, like, add mystery, and then you have to kind of decode what's happening. It's very fun. So Mordecai was it was my job to curse him, even though he's Bones' character. So then there's Paisley. So Paisley is a doctor. He's like a nurse. Is he a nurse or a doctor? I think he's a nurse. But he works at like a clinic that specializes in like helping people who have been cursed by fairies. He's boyfriends with Mordecai. He's up here. Well, he's like here. He's a Blorbo. He's not super up there though. Actually, is he that high up? Yeah, sure. So Paisley, he's nice. He's horrified by like his boyfriend's curse, as he's like unable to do anything, even though he has like the medical know-how to like help people with curses. Paisley's cute. He's nice. Dr. Bauer. So Dr. Bauer is a co-worker of Paisley. She works at the clinic. She does the doctor stuff. I didn't get into her too much. So, like, she's okay. She's good. I didn't really get into her much. Brooke. Which one's Brooke? Too many characters, man. Do. Wait, I mixed up Dr. Bauer and Brooke. I don't remember Dr. Bauer, I'll be real. So Brooke is the one who I thought was Dr. Bauer. So she's like she's the doctor who like works with people. So Brooke is there. Dr. Bauer, I don't know what the hell you do. Then we have Archie. Okay, so Archie is Brooke's husband. Oh, see, Ricky. Listen! There's too many characters. Hi, Rat. So Archie is Brooke's husband. So he's like a little professor dude. He's very like ADHD, autistic, ADHD, where he gets like really into research. He likes researching kind of like fairy artifacts. And he finds an amulet and gets cursed by it. So that's his thing. We didn't get super into his story. But I like him. He's okay. We didn't really get into his story. Furlius. I really like Furlius. So he's, again, from the same story. He's from, like, an ancient time. 400 OCs, you're about to get a few confused. You're on your lunch break at 9 a.m.? Oh my gosh. See, these are all characters that, like, they're from stories, like, I can show you. Because we've got a bunch from RPs. A lot of these are, like, RP ones that I'm going through. But we have, like, the Avo characters, so that's, like, a book Bones has written. We've got, like, our characters from our comics, like Sovereign, Pretty Mouth, Magpie, 9 Point. And then, like, Honey Walls is in here, which is a book Bones wrote. And then, like, our upcoming comics. So there's a lot of characters. So some of it's RPs, some of it's, like, comics we've done. But Furlius. So he's from the Less Evil Fairies. He's from, like, medieval era. The scrolling, I know. He's from the medieval era. He is... So in ancient times, there were the kind of evil fairy... I think we had a different name, but they were basically like fairy lords, fairy kings and queens kind of thing. So they were people who... They were fairies who were influenced by humans. So they were very evil. They did bad things. And so he was imprisoned. He was like a serf or something. Like a captive of the... a fairy lord. And turned into... He was trapped pulling a carousel for, like, the the fairy lord's daughter to like entertain her. So he was like eternally pulling a carousel, and he was turned into like a bison, like minotaur guy, to do this. And him and his little brother were both kind of trapped doing this and like cursed. And then eventually his brother fell in love with the princess, the fairy daughter, and ran away with her. And so Furlius escaped. He was gonna go save them, save his brother. I don't know what the end point was. There was like some cool mystery stuff going on that Bones was like planning, but we didn't get that far. Where like the princess and Furlius's brother were like cursed or something and became like puppets that were like trapped in like a lake. It sounded cool, whatever happened. But Furlius was on a quest to save his brother. And he was basically like, he raised his brother kind of thing, so he's kind of like his dad, but also his brother, you know, emotionally. And then what happens is Furlius is then accosted by like a time sprite, which sends him to the future into like the current time of the RP. And so he's really sad that he can't get back and save his brother. And he starts working with the social workers. The Scug is working today. I added a big cooldown because it's mostly me yapping. But Furlius, so he's trapped in modern times. He starts working with the social workers and like Paisley and them at the clinic. And so he gets uncursed. He turns back into a human. And he starts, they have like a rehabilitation kind of program where they give like people who are cursed and like fairies and stuff who are without homes, they kind of give them housing and like therapy and stuff. It's like the social work that I wish we had in our world. Where everyone gets taken care of by the government. But anyway, so he gets taken care of. He starts meeting some other characters who are cursed. I like Furlius a lot. He's really cute. He's kind of up here in the Blorbos. I like him more than Paisley. I think he's like here. I like Furlius a lot. Unleath, I believe, is his brother. So I don't know anything about his brother, so he'll be like, he's down here with like they're okay. I don't know anything about him except like what Furlius has said. He sounds fun. Katie. This tier list would be perfect to snip up for shorts. For real. Bones has a plan to do his own. So he's gonna go through the list and like rank everything, and then we're gonna make a video comparing and reacting to our lists. Oh, Katie. Okay, I remember Katie. So it's a little hard with some of these names because we made a lot of characters to kind of populate the world in this one. So I'm like, who are you? But Katie is Furlius's roommate. They were roommates in this kind of like social work housing situation where she was cursed. So she was okay, so her curse was, the fairy that cursed her was called a cattle crook. And it would basically take people and turn them into cows and then keep them in a herd. And then they would just live as cows. So she was kidnapped as a kid and turned into a cow and lived in this herd for a long time. And then she was uncursed and is trying to integrate back into human society, which she's having trouble with because she lived most of her life as a cow. And so she is living with Furlius and they're kind of dealing with their trauma together. I like Katie. She's cute. She's like, yeah, she's like in here. I like Katie. As a fellow cow, I get it. Sprout. So Sprout, I think... Which one are you? Whoops. Right, Sprout. Okay,
Ramen.
so... Ramen. Yes, delicious. So Sprout Ooh, actually, sorry, speaking of sprouts, ramen with some little pea sprouts, some little pea shoots. Oh, so good. Okay, so Sprout, he was kind of a background character. He was also part of this, like, housing program. He was a centaur who was a hunter who would, like, challenge people out in the woods to, like, a hunting contest. And he got tricked by a human. He kind of, like, lost his hunting challenge to this human, so the human kind of, like, kept him as like an indentured servant and kind of abused him. He was stuck on a farm doing farm work instead of being a majestic centaur out in the wild. So he was rescued. He's part of this housing thing to, like, get him into society because I think his home was destroyed. So he's just kind of in the background. I like him, you know? Where would he go in here? Yeah. He's, like, in here. We like Sprout. Apricot was another kind of background character. So, I like Apricot. She was cute. Oh, right. So, her name was based on a pun. She's a unicorn, like EWE, like a lady sheep. A unicorn. So, she's a sheep unicorn. So, she is living in the group home. She kind of hangs out with Sprout as, like, part of a herd. Anyways, so she had her horn stolen and, like, poached by humans, so she's in the group home working out her stuff. I like Apricot. She's cute. I think she would knit. Where did I put Sprout? Yeah, she's with Sprout. Okay, and then we have Nettle. Another part of the group home. She's part of their little squad. So she is like an alpaca fairy. So she used to live up in the mountains. She, like, guided people if they got lost. She'd, like, guide them back to the path. But the mountain she lived on was deforested and she lost her home. I think she's the one that knits. I think she knits with her alpaca wool. Hi, lemons. So yeah, so she's in with Apricot and Sprout and them. Oh, Bandit. I like Bandit. So he's a Fluffagard. So he's part of the group home. He's like a dog fairy who was, like, they're used to, like, guard cattle. And they kind of, like, they meet a human, they get really attached. He was abandoned by his human, and now he kind of hangs out with, like, Nettle and Apricot and Sprout, and is kind of like their guard dog because he needs, like, a job. It kind of makes him feel fulfilled because part of this, like, housing project is to get, like, fairies, like, integrated in society and finding meaningful work that kind of suits their nature. I almost want to say all night because Bones didn't stream. Whoa, true. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bones stayed up all night working on this. He's gonna make his own version. But right, so he has, like, a werewolf bite where if he bites you, you turn into, like, a sheep. Put these on shorts. We should. So yeah, so anyways, he has a biting problem, so he's struggling in the group home, where, like, he turns people into creatures by biting them. That's part of his curse that he does, but he doesn't mean any harm. He's just struggling. I like Bandit. I like him. He's, like, up here. Yeah. Bandit's, like, up here. Lucas. Who the hell is Lucas? Oh, I remember Lucas. Wait, he was so cute. Okay, wait. Lucas is kind of a fave. Okay, a biting problem. Okay, Okay, Lucas is adorable. I think he might be up in Blorbo or like second fave child. Yeah, I think he's like up here. So Lucas, he's a fairy. Snuffy has a biting problem. Oh no. True, make sure to like the stream. Though I guess everyone has, according to Lemons. So Lucas, he's a brownie. So like, you know, does nice things for people. So he has like a compulsion to clean. So his issue is that he would break into people's houses and clean for them, which like is nice, but like a lot of people found it off-putting. So he's not part of the housing program. He's not like living at this like housing project. He just works there. He's doing his work placement where he does cleaning for the place. He helps people like clean their homes and take care of the community center stuff. So he just works there. He's adorable. I love Lucas. He's just like, you know, people will be just like using the kitchen and he'll be like hanging out with them and he'll just like clean behind you as you work. That's just what he likes to do. And he's really working on not breaking into people's houses to clean them. But he's cute. I like Lucas. Violet. So I think, if I'm correct, Violet... Yes. So she is a Glimkin, which is like... She's like this little, like, weasel fairy that, like, has all these, like, gems, like, in her fur, if I'm remembering. But her crystals and things were poached, so she's like really sick. So she's part of this housing project because she needs a lot of care. So she's also in therapy with another one of my characters, who I think is next. So she likes eating rocks. So her therapist, I guess not therapist, but like counselor. Her counselor, Sage, who's one of my characters, will give her rocks to eat, and she gives him riddles, and he has to figure them out, and that's their little game. And she's really coming out of her shell. I like her. She's really cute. Yeah, she's like up here. I think I'm gonna put Braum below, and maybe Plum too, and maybe Saffron. Maybe Nadia. Anyways, so next is Sage. So he's one of my characters. He's my trans mask character. He's also kind of non-binary. But anyways, he works as a counselor. So he's like a social worker who's working in the housing program. He's really cute. He has a bit of a tragic backstory where, like, he was kind of abandoned by... He's a human. He was abandoned by, like, his parents and went into, like, the foster care system. And then... Sage is one of the trans names. I feel like hell yeah. Sage is such a lovely name. I like it a lot. But anyway, so he grew up in kind of foster care, and then he was adopted by his grandmother, and so like he kind of went on a mission to like help people, and so he works as like a social worker where he helps like fairies and humans and stuff. And he's part of this big like housing rehabilitation project. So he works with Violet, and he starts working with Furlius, and he was assigned to work with Bandit, who's the dog fairy with biting problems. And Sage didn't work with Bandit before. Bandit had a different support worker who then, due to like a curse, was kind of on leave to like recover from that curse. And so Sage was assigned to work with Bandit, and is having trouble kind of like with the extra caseload and ends up getting bit by Bandit, unfortunately, which then curses Sage. And Sage starts turning into like a were-coyote. And so has to like start dealing with that, where like he transforms in the night. There's an amazing scene where he like his issue is like it's like a loneliness kind of curse. Where like if he's lonely in the night, he'll transform and like turn into a coyote and run around through the wild and then wake up in the morning. So like it's important for him to like have friends over or like stay with someone, but he struggles with it because he's a bit of a workaholic. So like he'll just like pass out when he gets home and not have anyone around. But anyways, so he, in one of his romps, as a were-coyote, he wakes up in like a nature reserve, and he meets one of the best characters, Ranger Devil, who we'll get into later. And Sage then gets a second curse. So while he's like out, on his romp, he gets attacked by another, like an evil fairy creature that's been like, afflicted by like human stuff. Right? He can't catch a break. Yeah, he is one of a main character. I love Sage. Sage is probably way up here. He's like a Blorbo. He's pretty up there. So he gets a second curse, which starts turning him into, I forget what it's called, but it's like a freaky owl creature that like eats people's dreams. We didn't get super far in it, but he was starting to like become malicious. Being one above Mordecai. It's because he's sweet. See, I don't love only problematic mean characters. Sage is like a certified sweetheart. So is Pebbles and Aubrey. They're certified sweethearts and they're up there. Okay, Ranger Devil! Ranger Devil's up here. I love Ranger Devil. So Ranger Devil is a fairy. She's like a raccoon fairy. So she just likes to find stuff. She just likes to find trash and keep it. So she is employed by the like nature park, the park service. She just like collects trash and like is a little forest ranger kind of thing, kind of keeping track of keeping the nature reserve protected, because it's kind of like it's like a nature reserve for like fairies. So like there's lots of fairies there humans can go through, but like it's protected to keep the fairies safe and stuff. So Ranger Devil is there, and Ranger Devil is the one who finds Sage after he wakes up from his little werewolf experience and getting attacked by the second curse. So he wakes up and he's like, I don't know where I am, and I'm bleeding from being attacked by an evil creature. And Ranger Devil saves him, and I love her. She just has like a little backpack full of trash that she collects, and she's really cute, and they're besties. So then we have Ruby. So Ruby was a social worker who worked with Sage. She was the one who was working with Bandit and helping him. But what happens is she gets cursed. It's not one of the fairies that's like in the center. It's just like a random fairy who finds her and curses her, so that when she gets startled or anxious, she turns into a deer. So, which is bad when she's working with Bandit, because it makes her like more easily spooked. And so she had to like take some leave to like recover from her curse. And at the start of the RP, she's been away. She transferred a lot of her patients to Sage, but she's coming back and trying to get back into it and really dealing with her curse. She has to like spend a lot of time calming down so she doesn't turn into a deer and run off. I like Ruby. She's really cute. She's like Yeah, she's like here. I like Lucas more, my little cleaning fairy, but Ruby's up there. She's cute. Rowan. Which one is Rowan? Ideas from Bones? Yes, that's Bones' character. Oh, Rowan. Okay, she is just a human, I believe. I don't think there was much about her. She was just kind of like a support character. So I'm gonna put her in, like, she's okay. I don't know much about her, but she's okay. So Rowan is Ruby's roommate. So just, like, was kind of helping her with, like, her recovery from the curse. Yeah. She was just kind of a support character. Kingsley, I believe, is dating Ruby. Well, they when we start the RP, they're like going on a blind date kind of thing, or a first date. So Kingsley, average human moment. Pardon me. Some of my water went down the wrong pipe. So Kingsley, she's someone who has been cursed. She's a human. She was cursed by... Oh, right. They're called a brambleclaw. But it's basically like a cat that... It's like a fairy that is a cat that forms like a colony of barn cats. And so Kingsley was scratched by it, which cursed her. And so to break her curse, she has to, like, please the brambleclaw. She has to, like, bring it something that will please it enough to break her curse. Because she used to do TNR, so, like, trap, neuter, release for, like, feral cats, and anyway, she bumped into this fairy and got cursed. So she's slowly turning into a cat until she can break her curse. Goodbye, rat. So she's trying to work on her curse. She works at a cat cafe. She's slowly turning into a cat. She starts dating Ruby. And on their first date, Ruby gets spooked because she's so nervous about the date that she turns into a deer, and Kingsley has to go find her and track down this deer in the middle of the city. So yeah, I like Kingsley. She's like up here. Okay, Valeria. I love Val. Okay, Val is probably in the Blorbo tier. But Val is cat girl fairy. I forget what she's called. I think a Grimalkin? Yeah, Grimalkin. So she's a fairy. She is a cat girl. She turns people into cats. So she'll meet typically boys and she'll just be like, "Oh, you're so cute, boo boo boo," and she'll start giving them like nicknames. And then the more like attached they get to like the nickname, they turn into a cat. And so she just collects cats. And so they have her working at a cat cafe to maybe kind of like, if she's just hanging out with normal cats, maybe she'll stop stealing boys and turning them into cats. And also then if she does turn a boy into a cat, they know where they are. They can undo it. Because what they have to do to turn them back is they have to remember their own name. So then go by the means. But yeah. She steals boys and turns them into cats and leaves them at the cat cafe where she works. She puts anime on for them because they like their anime. But Val is up there. I love Val. Yeah. Val's up there. Big Blorbo energy. So Graham is a boy that She turns into a cat. So he's a shy little programmer boy. Man, they're adults. Who goes to the cat cafe. He's very shy. He likes Val though. They hit it off. I'll be back in a minute. I have to stop by my work. Gotcha. See you soon. So he's funny. So we had this concept of like a dating app in the universe because there's lots of people who like get cursed, and in order to break that curse, they use like this little app to like meet, because a lot of people have like curses that can be broken with like romance. So there's like an app in universe called like True Love's Kiss that Graham works on where people can like date and meet people to help break their curse. But anyway, so he's shy. He goes to the cat cafe to like try and socialize more. He meets Val. They like each other. They start to date. He's continually turned into a cat. But they know him at the clinic where they take him, so he gets turned back really quick. I like him. He's like... Yeah, he's like here. Graham's cute. James. This is definitely a Bones Blorbo, I feel. So James works at the cat cafe. He was cursed by a Grimalkin, so he's a cat boy now. He's a cat man. He's very grizzled. He... So many boy cats. Yes. He's a grump. To break his cat curse, I think he has to learn to appreciate cats, but he's struggling with it. He's been cursed a lot in his life. He was cursed in high school and turned into a bird. And he was also kidnapped by a changeling at one point. So like a fairy took him, left a fairy baby in his place. And so... But eventually, because they have lots of safeguards in this society, right? Because this can happen. Eventually, he was brought back to his human family, but they also kept the changeling child. So he has a twin brother who is a changeling who's always trying to copy him. And so he struggles with a lot of identity because of this, where like he really doesn't like his brother copying him. So he's kind of moved away and like he's estranged from his family. Now he's a cat boy. And in the story, his brother does find him and starts pretending to be him, which causes some hijinks. James is also dating like a girl who's been cursed into being a bird. They meet through the True Love's Kiss app. I like James. He's cute. Let's see, where is he? He's like above Paisley. Yeah, he's like in there. Danny is the girl he's dating. So she was turned into a dove. I think she got herself cursed. Also, I pronounced Val's name Valeria. It's Valeria. Whoops. Yeah, Danny, she is... Okay, so she's human for a short period of time because of her curse. So only kind of the time surrounding dusk and dawn she becomes a human, but the rest of the time she's a bird. She's a little mourning dove. So she needs to find true love to break her curse. Daddy's really cute. I like her. Yeah, she's probably in here. She's a Blorbo. Paula, I believe, is her sister, who's just like this kind of goth girl. She's just like a supporting character. Like, she's fine. She's like Rowan. She's kind of a support character. There's James. I forget what his real name is. It's like... It's a really cool fantasy Cloth patties get ranked high. She didn't get ranked that high though. What is his real name? It's like, it sounds like the word arcane. It's like Arcanian or something. What's his name? Anyways, that's his real name, but he goes by James because he's a changeling who's trying to copy James. And he gets into some hijinks where he starts, like, he tracks down Danny, who's, like, dating James, and starts pretending to be him. I think, actually, he starts hitting on Paula, Danny's sister. I like James. He's cute. He's like, up here with James. James and James. He doesn't mean to, like, pretend to be his brother, but, like, he compulsively does it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. My neighbor came by to borrow my car, and actually to help fix my car. My neighbor being the roommate who lives with Bones's stepdad and mom. Because they're gonna fix my car, which I appreciate. Okay. Oop. Where was I? What was I talking about? I think we just finished James. Aspen. Aspen, I don't remember a whole lot. Gotta do a smog check. Oh no. Stay safe out there. Oh, Aspen. So Aspen, she's probably in the okay tier. I don't remember much about her. But she's a dryad. So she's like a sweet little fairy. She can't stay too long on dirt. Otherwise she starts to root into the ground. And she gets kind of stuck places, but she loves nature because she's like a nature spirit, right? So she goes jogging in nature and then goes back to the city. But yeah. So that's Aspen. And then one day she trips over this little, like, shadow creature. Oh my god. Pardon me. My throat's making weird noises. And she was gonna save this little shadow creature. We didn't really finish that plot line, so I don't know what happens. But that's Aspen. She's okay. She's fine. Damsel. So she's a human. She's like an influencer. She's like a makeup influencer. She also has OCD. She has a lot of issues with like insects and cleanliness. It's very distressing to her. But she does have a friend who lives in her building named Chloe, who is like helping her. So like a lot of what happens is like a bug will show up in her apartment and then she'll be like, Chloe, come help me. And they're in love. Well, Chloe has a crush on Damsel. I don't know if Damsel returns the feeling, but I kind of think. Yeah, I like her. She's cute. Yeah. Damsel's cute. Chloe is her Shimbo maybe girlfriend. I like her. She's cute. She does photography. They like bond over enjoying like filming and photography. They're cute. I like him. I think there was gonna be a curse where like Damsel starts turning into a bug. Oh, there's Samantha. So her story's weird. I don't quite understand. So this is one of Bones' characters. She didn't get much time in the RP before we kind of dropped it. But she is a lawyer. She fights for fairy rights. She was cursed by a time sprite. So that's like the fairy that can like send people through time. Where she gets sent. So in her youth, she's kind of stuck in a time loop. So in her youth, her parents are killed in a car accident. And then her older self comes back in time and raises her younger self. So she's like her own like adoptive mother. And so in the current timeline she's in, she is reaching the point where she got put back in time. So she's now going to live past her younger self being pulled back in time to then again raise her younger self. So I don't know where that was going, but it was interesting. So she can be like down here. I don't know what her deal was, but she was cool. She's okay. Oh, okay. Are there any? So next is the Avo stuff. Now I wonder. I don't think there's enough time to go through all of Avo. I think I must end for today. Should I go through Avo? Let's do Avo. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for you, Ors. Let's do Avo, and then we'll end for the day. Do it for Lul. Exactly. Okay, I think what's happening is my tummy's empty because I'm hungry. And it's gurgling, and I keep making these gurgly throat noises, so I sincerely apologize. A special tear for Lul. Lul. Okay, so this is for Avo. So this is... I could take a food break. I don't know if there's anything I could eat quickly, though. Everything... We're kind of at the end of the grocery cycle. Where, like, I don't have easy make foods. I'll be okay. I don't feel super hungry, but my tummy's like, girl, you're hungry. Okay. So Avo, book that Bones wrote. I am the strongest soldier. It's so true. I'm marching forward. So this is a book that Bones wrote. We also have it as a comic that is ongoing. Link below. It's set in a 1920s inspired world, but there's like elves and dragons and angels and stuff. Okay, so let's start with Aaron. I know he's a sweet baby angel. It helps that he's an angel, but he's my sweet baby angel. I love Aaron. I would die for Aaron. He's so cute. He is... He's my baby boy. He is an exiled angel, so he had his wings removed. Angels in this universe they like create light in their wings that keeps them alive. If they lose their light, they become fallen, which turns into monsters kind of thing. So he's an exile, so he relies on jewelry that contains light to keep his light. He's one of the main characters. He's also the Sage of Wind, which means he has powers. He's like the only person in the universe with powers over wind. And he's adorable. He works as a servant for Master Whiteheart, who is Lul. And he's anxious. He's just my anxious little man. I love him. He's really sweet. I just love him. A special boy. He's my special little boy. Tria. Okay, Tria is also a sweet baby angel. She's the last elf. She's also the daughter of the dark god. She's besties with Aaron. She has an issue where because she's like daughter of the dark god, she does kind of like steal his light a little bit when they're nearby, but she doesn't mean to. They're still besties, and she's just autistic and adorable. She loves trees. She loves plants. She's mysterious, but secretly she's really, really cute. I love Tria. Asler. He's cute. So this is the prince. He's like the human prince. No, sorry, human king. He's the king. He's not a prince. Also Tria is the earth sage. So she's the only person in the universe with powers over earth. So Asler, he is the light sage. He is the king. I don't know why we didn't include a picture of him. I have a design for him. But he's cute. He's really anxious. His father died when he was young, so he became the king pretty early. He doesn't feel like he has the power to really fill those shoes. Also, his twin sister Alex tried to kill him and assassinate him. So now he has to execute her because the plan was thwarted, and he's very torn about it because, like, yeah, she tried to assassinate me, but she's like my twin sister and I love her, and their mother also died, so she's like his last family. He's up there. He's yeah. He's here. He's a Blorbo. I love Asler. He's very sweet, but he's not like a sweet baby angel, you know. Celine. I love Celine. She might be a sweet baby angel. Or she's like really high on the Blorbo tier. Celine is Asler's fiance. So she comes from she's from Tia, which is like the town that like lives under like the Dragon's Mountains. So like it's really sad. Her and her whole society are like oppressed by the dragons. Like all the men in her home are kidnapped by the dragons and kept as servants. And she is like the daughter of the like mayor there, I guess, like the head of the town, who like is the ambassador to the dragons. And so her mom was like, I don't want you to live here. I'm gonna send you to the capital. And she eventually got engaged to Asler, and she's the future queen, you know? But yeah, she got out of there so that she didn't have to be horribly oppressed by dragons. She's really tough. She's very cool. She's very like no nonsense, kind of like, it's kind of a necessity with like where she grew up, right? But she's very like, she's like the rock to Asler's like nervousness. She's like, you can do it, baby. I love and support you. But I love her a lot. She's really tough and cool, and she's really great. There's a lot of silly characters in Avo, so she's like a really great like straight man for them, or like she's no nonsense and they're silly. I like her a lot. She's really cute. Lul. Okay, Bones is gonna hate me for this, but he's a sweet baby angel, but he's not above Aaron for me. I'm so sorry. So Lul Whiteheart. I know, I just love Aaron. So Lul Whiteheart. He is a spirit. So in Avo, the spirits they helped create the universe. There's like the gods. First there was the goddess Avo. She split into the different gods. And then each of those gods created spirits, which make up a council, and like at the beginning of the universe, they all wrote the laws of the universe called the Books of Avo. So he is a servant of the Dark God. This is spoiler territory. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, he did reveal that he's Lul, that he worked for the Dark God. I'll try not to spoil too much. But, so he's been parading as a human, as like a gangster, a rum runner. But he's actually an ancient spirit. He's also a bit of an alcoholic. He has a problem. And maybe he's a good guy. It's unclear. He likes Aaron. They're friends, kind of. I mean, Aaron is like his servant for a little bit. He hires him as like a valet. I won't fix him. You know what? That's really powerful that you acknowledge that. But yeah, Lul, he's delighted by having Aaron as a spirit, or as a servant, because he always wanted an angel as a servant. Medical is okay. Because the angels, Aaron is not this way. He's a sweet baby boy. But the angels are very hoity-toity, and they're kind of fascists, and they act like they're above everyone. So Lul was delighted to have an angel, even though he's a sweet baby boy. He was delighted to have an angel work for him. But yeah, he's a little troublemaker, and I love him. He's so handsome. He fills his house with portraits of himself. It's that vanity. I just love a vain character. Hi, Lemon. Then we have Donnie. I love Donnie. Donnie. Do I love him more than Celine? Oh. Donnie, he is a human character in Avo. He's my man. I love him. He works for Ekito, who is another spirit. He's a rum runner. He comes from a rich family. He's just the best. He's just always there to help out. He's friends with Juliet, who's like the main character of Avo. Even though they start out on like a date she's forced on. She doesn't realize he doesn't realize she's gay. But he's just the best. I love him. He's so funny. Leave Lul alone. It's not his fault. He's picture perfect. I want him to be my man too, but Lul is so sexy. I know it's hard. Lul, it's hard to compete with the most handsome man in the world, but Don's up there. Edith. I hate her. Oh, I need a new tier. Hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, I messed up. Okay, this is, I hate them. They could be gray. So this is where Edith goes. Where did I put Edith? Edith, come back. Edith. Edith. I hate them. I forgot about the I hate them tier. Because for the most part, I don't hate a lot of our characters. Edith, garbage. She's Juliet's mom. I won't spoil, but I hate her. she's Juliet's mom, and she's the worst. TM. Bernard, Juliet's dad, worse than Edith. Wait, is worse below? Or is it I hate them more? I think it's below. So she's like less hated than Bernard. He sucks. Juliet's dad and mom, bad people. Leia. So this is Celine's mom. She's like she peacekeeps between the humans and the dragons. She's lovely. I like her. I like her a lot. She's like up here. She's a wise lady. She takes no gruff from no billy goats. And yeah, she's a cool guidance character, you know? Nora. Oh, Nora. So Nora, she's one of the women who lives in the village, like oppressed by dragons. She's like an older sister. I'll bring Janna up too. So Janna and Nora, they're sisters. Janna's like a kid. Nora's older. They live in Salea's village. They probably knew Celine before she moved to the capital. They're really cute. Keep the sisters together. Exactly. Janna's a little troublemaker. She rustles up trouble. She's like, she could be Juliet, you know? Just like getting into trouble. And Nora keeps her out of trouble. They only show up for a couple little scenes, but they're really cute. I like them. They're like here, you know? I like them. Durin. I love Durin. He's definitely in like Blorbo area. I think I keep seeing Papillon and Zara and being like, I don't know if I love them that much. So I'm gonna put them at like the top, near the top of second fave child. Because I like them a lot, but I don't think they're like Blorbo material. Durin is Celine's little brother, so Salea's son. He is kidnapped by the dragons. He's working as like a slave to them, unfortunately. He's really little. He's also abused by the dragons. Like, they don't treat the humans well. Like keeping them as indentured servants. So he's not educated. And he's like malnourished as well. So like I forget how old he is. I feel like he's like 10. He's like around there, but he looks a lot younger because he is so horribly abused by the dragons. The dragons are bad in Avo. I hate to tell you. Fairy is the only good dragon. The rest of them are bastards. But I love Durin. He comes into play in the second book, so I won't go into his story too much, but he's really adorable. I like Durin a lot. Yeah, he's like up here. Durin's adorable. Maud Morningstar! I love Maud Morningstar. So she's a character from book 2. I won't spoil too much, but she is a human. Hi, Snuffy! She is a human. She's a reporter. So think like the 1920s, like here's the news. Like she's like that. And she's a photographer. And she, without spoiling too much, she does meet Aaron and Tria on their travels, and she's fascinated by them because like humans don't run into like angels, and especially not elves, because like all the elves are gone. But she meets them and is a cute little background character. I like them. She's like up here. I like Maud. She's cool. Lottie is her friend. So I believe Lottie, she gives them, when Aaron and Tria show up, they need some, like a change of clothes. I think Lottie gives them the clothes. But she's friends with Maud. Yeah, she's up there. She's like here. She's kind of a background character, but I like Lottie. Miriam! Okay, Miriam's kind of a blorbo. Yeah, I like her more than Asler. Do I like her more than Sage? Kinda. Miriam, okay. These are more background characters from book 2. I won't spoil too much, but Miriam is like a teenager who is like obsessed with like the Hollywood stars. It's like 1920s Hollywood stars. So she's like obsessed with them. But she's kind of a ditz. She's dumb, and I love her. And she's a dumb kid, and she gets into trouble, but she's so enthusiastic about it. I love Miriam. She's so cute. Let me grab the rest of the dumb teens, because she's part of this group of teens in book 2 that I'm so excited for you guys to read when it comes out. So Vera, Clyde, Stanley, Lenora. Okay. So, they're part of this group of teens that are getting into trouble. Lenora, so there's another Lenora in the books of Avo who is a spirit. So she's probably, and the spirits are like famous, you know, they're like ancient immortals. They're written in the history. So Lenora the human, she's like a teenager. She's a goth because Lenora is like the spirit of death. So she's, I forget what her real name is. I forget what her real name is, but her nickname is Lenora. And so she is like an artist. She like cares about cinema. And so she's always fighting with Miriam because Miriam is like, ooh, I know all about cinema. And Lenora's like, you know nothing of art. And they're really cute. I like them a lot. They're a cute little duo. There's Vera, who's their friend. She's like a little quiet, nerdy girl. She's a little silly. I think she's a little dumb like Miriam, but she's a teen, so she gets away with it. She's up here. I like them a lot. Clyde and Stanley are two fellas they hang out with. They don't get as much screen time, I will be real. So I'll keep them down here, but they're also adorable, dumb teens who are getting into trouble. They're kind of fighty. Film student versus actor student, literally. Okay, now we have Mirelle. Mirelle is Aaron's grandmother. She is an angel. She used to be the Sage of Wind. So she used to have the wind powers. She was arrested by the angels, the angel council, because like I said, they're fascists. And so they wanted control over the wind sage, as it's like common for the wind sage to be an angel. And she's part of the True Wind line. She married a spirit. She's an angel, but she married a spirit. And they care a lot about bloodline stuff because they're fascists. So they have her under house arrest. And they still think she's the Wind Sage, but she secretly passed on her power to Aaron. Of course, they arrested a woman to boot. Exactly. So she's been captured, held prisoner by the angels. But she writes letters to Aaron as much as she can. And she's passed on her power to him. And yeah, she's lovely. I like her a lot. She's up here. Do I like Alexi and Albin more? I like Alexi more. But she's up here. She's a Blorbo. Oh, Uncle Leo. He's kind of up here. Yeah. Uncle Leo. So this is Aaron's uncle. So Mirel's brother. He's like a really older brother. So he is an angel who is exiled. So he lost his wings. But he's super old. So the angels and the elves and dragons and stuff, they're all immortal. So some of them were kind of born like millennia ago. So he was born before the books of Avo, the laws of the universe were like set in stone. So like he was around when the world was being made. He's super old. And he, instead of becoming an angel, because like Plum is old. He's so old. He's crusty. But he chose to get rid of his wings because the angels used to be kind of like, they're kind of a split off from the elves. So they got wings, they took in the light, they ascended onto like the star, which is this like floating city. And he was like, I hate this. This stinks. You guys are fashy as hell. So he chose to get rid of his wings. Ew, I'm gonna make him hot. Well, the thing is, he's an immortal, so he looks young. That's the thing. He looks like a young man, even though he's ancient. So he can still be hot. Though, you know, we love an older fella. They can be very hot. A distinguished gentleman. Hello. But anyways, Uncle Leo. So he chose to. I guess he never crinkled. He didn't. I imagine he's got like some kind of like lines on his face, just because he's so old. But like he still looks young. Anyways, so he chose to not ascend to the star. He lives on the land. He kind of became a hermit. He just has his farm where he just wants to be by himself. And he just wanted to be by himself. He has a farm. He raises deer. He's chilling. And then when some stuff went down on the star, so the angel home, where Aaron was exiled as a little baby. I won't spoil things, but he was exiled as a baby. And so his family, Mirel, his grandma was like, Leo, I need you to raise Aaron and take care of him. And so Leo was like, hell yeah, on it. So he takes Aaron in. He also takes in Aaron's cousin, who is Sindrith, who is I don't know. The family tree is a little weird. But anyway, so the third sibling between Leo and Mirel is Miathriel. And so her son has a child who is Sindrith. Sindrith is the grandson of Miathriel. But anyway, so he's I'll get into Sindrith later. But anyway, so Leo raises Aaron and Sindrith as his own. And he's called Uncle Leo, even though he's like their great uncle. But he's basically their dad. He's their father figure. And he cares for them. And they live in his little farm and have a cozy cottagecore life. And as he's raising them, they can't really reveal to the angels that Aaron and... Well, they can know Aaron's there. Like, they don't like Aaron because he's been exiled. But they can't know about Sindrith, and I'll get into why later. But he protects them. He's a good uncle. I love Uncle Leo. Sindrith! Is he above Lul? Maybe. Is he? Maybe. No. Maybe? No. Maybe. I love Sindrith so much. Audibly gasping! Sindrith! Okay, Sindrith. So he is Aaron's cousin. Raised by Uncle Leo, like I said. So he is half human. So normally angels, like their coloring is very like gray and white. They have like gray skin or white hair or gray hair. Very like monochromatic. So Singe has red hair because he is part human. He has freckles. He doesn't glow as much. He did have wings. He was exiled. They removed his wings, mostly to help him like blend in so he couldn't be found by angels, because they are fascists who care about bloodlines, so they do not want angels mingling with humans, so if he is found, he will probably be murdered. So they hide Sindrith. They protect him. He is baby. And I love him. And he's basically Aaron's brother. They grow up together even though they're cousins. And he's adorable. He's dumb and adorable, and I love him. He has a crazy little dog named Remy. He's the best. I just love him so much. Protect him at all costs. Exactly. I love him. He's a silly guy. He tells a story. This is a spoiler, but it's great. He tells a story because Aaron's older than him. They're long-lived. Like, Aaron's, like, I think in his 90s. But, like, he looks young, and he's young for, like, an immortal. I think they mature at, like, 1,000 years old. So he's young, but he's, like, an adult. And then Sindrith is, like, in his 50s. But, like, you know, still young for Angel. And they don't really know how his growth will go because he is part human, but I think he is still immortal. But anyways, so Aaron did raise him. He's like an older brother kind of thing. But Sindrith tells a story about how he was sitting in a wheelbarrow and Aaron was supposed to be watching him and he fell down the hill in the wheelbarrow. And he's trouble. And Aaron's a good older brother, I swear. Mithril. Oh, where did she go? Where'd that go? What happened? Where are you? Oh no. Help. Where did it go? I've lost it. There's too many characters. What happened? Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. Okay, Mithril. She's kind of in the I hate them tier. I hate her less than... I really shouldn't. I should hate her more than Edith and Bernard. She's a fascist. She sucks. So she's the grandmother of Sindrith. But she's the sister of Mithril. Sorry, the sister of Mirel and Leo. She's a fascist. She lives up on the star. She's nasty. I don't like her. She's evil. She would kill her adorable grandson in a heartbeat. She's bad news. I don't like her. Tiam. Tiam's like up here. Do I like him more than Tria? And Dawn? He's in this range. Tiam is... Oh, how do I talk about Tiam without spoilers? Never more than Donnie. So true. He's in book 2 of Avo. He is related to Aaron. I won't say how. And I can't really talk about his story, but he is an angel. He is disabled, which leads to a lot of like oppression, ableism, because the angels are bad people. Bad society. There's obviously good angels, right? But so he doesn't do so well. And he's adorable. He's a grump. He's like a grumpy character. He's also really young. He's like 14, so he's like baby for an angel. And I love him. He's really, really cute. Tiam is the best. He becomes friends with Sindrith. They're adorable. I love Tiam. Soriel. Ooh, she's kind of in the I hate them. I hate her way less than Mithril. Soriel is Aaron's mother. I'm surprised we don't have Aaron's dad in here. As far as I can see. He might show up later. I know these aren't all in order. But anyway, Soriel, I feel bad for her. You have so many OCs. I want to make a list. Yes, do it, Snuffy. Everyone should make their tier lists and post them in the Discord. I would love to see that. So Soriel is Aaron's mom. She was dealt a bad hand, but I don't like how she dealt with it. So she, without spoiling too much, so Aaron's dad tried to rebel against the angel government, and because they're fascists and he was anti-fascist, but they stopped him and he was executed and Aaron was exiled. And so Soriel, who is Mirel's daughter, who's from like a very influential family, because Mirel is like, she married a spirit. So Soriel's dad is a spirit. They're a very influential family. They offered Soriel, like, we'll let you live. We won't exile you or murder you if you marry, like, the head of the council, like the head of the evil angel government. So she took it and, like, abandoned her son, and she's, like, integrated back into the angel society, still doing evil stuff. Where, like, I feel bad for her. She's, like, a victim in this, but, like, I have trouble forgiving her for, like, being a part of an evil system, you know? Then there's Ire. So I definitely hate Ire. He's kind of neck and neck with Mithril. I'll put him as more hated just because he's, you know, we gotta love our ladies, you know? So Ire, he's the head of the Angel Council, so head fascist. He sucks. He married Soriel. And he's just bad. He's just a bad person. He sucks. He murdered Aaron's dad. There's a lot of hate here in my heart for Ire. Down with Angel Society? Yes. Screw Angel Society. Miss Birdie is way up here. She's like... yeah, she's like in here. She's a lesser character in book 2. She's an exiled angel. She's a drag queen. She's the best. We meet her in book 2. I won't spoil anything, but she's very much against the angels. She's awesome. I love Miss Birdie. So much creativity, mind lending it to me. Okay, I'll spare some. A lot of it is Bones' ideas, because this is Bones' book. I'm just reiterating it. Okay, Lenora. So you know how we talked about teenager Lenora, who's just a human? So Lenora is the spirit of death. So she's on the Dark Council. She dated Lul before she was killed. And they were immortal loves. He's not over her death, even though it was like 300 years in the past. But they were an item. But yeah, she's spirit of death. She created death in the universe. Oh, this is kind of a bit of a spoiler. But I kind of hate her. And I can't tell you why, but I don't like her. She's a bad person. Soriel gets a bit higher because I feel bad for Soriel. I don't feel bad for her. She's just mean. Wait, what? I can't tell you why. He really has her painting in front of his bed so he can wake up to her every time. Yeah, I know. I can't tell you. It's a big spoiler, but I don't like her. Okay, next we have... Oh my god, I'm blanking on her name. She's a really good character. Oh my god, she's Spirit of Mind. What is her name? Why don't I know this? I should know this. Sorry, just quickly scrolling. Godspeed. Come on. Okay, here we go. Carvel, that's her name. There we go. Carvel. I don't know why I forgot that. She's a baddie. Yeah, she's like Blorbo status. I like her a lot. Yeah, she's like, I like her less than Durin, but she's up there. So Carvel, Spirit of Mind. So she created how mind works. In the Avo universe, mind is kind of like your soul in a little bit. It's kind of, it's weird. There's spirit and is it spirit? No, there's mind and soul. So soul is like, soul is kind of your body. Like it's kind of like your lifeblood, I guess, is the best way. It's more metaphorical than that. And then mind is like your being, your personality, your mind. And in order for someone to be alive, they need their soul and their mind intact. And when you die, your soul goes back into the river of souls and your mind goes beyond the veil, which is like death, right? But anyway, so she created mind. She is on the Dark Council. Soul, the spirit of soul, who may show up, is on the Light Council. So she's a spirit, helped create mind. She is blind, but she can read people's minds. She took the form of an angel. She works for the Dark God. She's kind of a bad person, but she's a baddie, you know? And she is kind of a mother figure to Tria. She like kind of helped raise her. And Carvel, she kind of sucks. She's kind of a bad person where like she's going along with like the big evil baddie's plan, but she's kind of doing it to like protect everyone in a weird way. She's a bad baddie. But she's kind of trying to protect the people on her council. She's trying to protect Tria. She's trying to protect Lul. But she's kind of mean about it. She's kind of a stinker, but I like her a lot. I care about her. Facet. Do I like him more than Lul? No. He's neck and neck with Lul. So Facet is... The stream is black? You may need to reload. So, Facet. He is the spirit of dreams. He's on the Dark Council. He created dreams. He's very anxious. He's an anxious boy. He kind of lives in like the reality of dreams. Like that's where he feels at home. So he doesn't really like causality. That was weird. That is weird. Yeah, so he has trouble with reality. Things like making sense upsets him. He lives in the realm of dreams, and he can travel into dreams. Dreams is kind of like a realm of its own in this world. So when he's in the dream world, he has like a humanoid form. He wears a mask because his face was cracked open at one point. Italo basically like scarred everyone on his council after like a big betrayal thing happened. So he cracked open Facette's face, so then like dreams come out of his face. So he wears a mask to like cover it because he's self-conscious. Interesting way he ranks higher than Donnie is because he's my son. I don't know. I just love him. He gets a bigger role in the later books. He shows up a little bit in book 1 near the end. But he kind of acts as a messenger. He can talk to people in dreams. And when he's in the real world, he is in the form of like a little black coyote. But he's my son and I love him. He plays a bigger role in book 2. I love him. He's so neurotic. It's just like me. He's me. He's my son. Aurora. She's in here. She's in here somewhere. Aurora. So this is the spirit of lust. She's on the Dark Council. She's besties with Lul. Sexy lady, yes. She's a sexy lady. So she created like lust and love and all that good stuff. She's very sexually liberated. She's missing an eye. Again, it was that the Italo attacking her took her eye, unfortunately. But yeah, she's got 4 arms, and she loves love, you know? She's such a baddie. But yeah, I like her and Lul a lot. I kind of ship them, you know. For real, he can't appreciate beauty. But she's just like a sweetie. She's just like the sweetest darling of the Dark Council. She's just the best. I love her. I love her so much. She's so sweet and cute and adorable. That's my husband. You could share. She's very open to like Polly, you know? Then we have Leah. So Leah she's from the Light Council. She's another spirit. She's the spirit of life. She kind of sucks. She's kind of a bad person. I think I don't like her because it's kind of a spoiler, but she betrayed her council, basically. She joined the Dark Council. She betrayed her own Light Council. She also used to hunt dragons, which is like messed up. She's just bad. She's not a good person. But I like her still. She's like... I like her, you know? I like them. But she's terrible. But I like her. Eketo. Ooh. Do I like him more than Nab? Do I like him more than Tiam? Kinda. He's like equal with Dawn. I'll put Dawn ahead because Dawn's a sweetie. Eketo. I'm realizing just all the Avo characters are my sweet baby angels, but I just love them so much. Eketo, he is the spirit of beasts. He was on the Earth Council. He is a cat with wings who runs a bar in the current era. But he's just sassy. He's just a sassy little kitty cat. He collects antiquities. They're so precious, minus the stinky ones. Exactly. Yeah, he's just great. He's a little kind of mentor character. Dawn works for him at Eketo's bar. His speakeasy. I like him. I love Eketo. He's up there. Oh, Nikki. Nikki. So Nikki, she is a spirit. She's the spirit of confusion. She's part of the Dark Council. She acts like Lul's little sister. She's like his annoying little sister. She's so pretty, right? This is kind of spoilers, but this isn't spoilers. She's a shapeshifter. You learn that pretty early on. So she can take any form. One of her common forms is the black dragon, which is this huge dragon, which will come up in book 1. But yeah, she's very zany. She's very petty. She's a bit of a brat. She's very impulsive. Yeah, I like her a lot. Is Nikki a sweet baby angel? I don't think she's quite there, but she's up there. She's like on the cusp. I like Nikki a lot. Brat coded for real. She is. She's such a brat. Oh, Amelia. So Amelia is a spirit. She's the spirit of spring. She's a little red panda that wears a flower crown. She's really cute. She doesn't play a huge role. She helps out the characters a little bit. She's just nice. She's like... Yeah, she's like in here. I like Amelia. She's cute. Oh, Allura. So Allura is... She's up there. She's kind of a sweet baby angel. So Allura is on the Light Council. I never said what spirit Lul is. He's the spirit of sin. So the sin meaning kind of like evil. He makes all the evil things in the world. That's his job when he was writing the books of Avo. Allura is his opposite. She's on the Light Council. She is the spirit of virtue. Hello! She doesn't show up really until the 3rd book. I think she's mentioned a couple times throughout the books, but she's more like a book 3 character. So I really don't want to spoil her very much. But she has a bit of like a rivalry kind of with Lul. It's not really a rivalry. Like they just don't get along. Even though she really wants to. She really desperately wants to be friends with Lul, like back in the old days. Okay, I still love him with all his flaws and imperfections. Because he's hot. Ors! Ors! Stop! But yeah, Allura, she desperately wants to be friends with Lul. He does not want to be friends with her. The Light and Dark Council are kind of at odds with each other. They like don't get along because they're considered like opposites. But she wants to be his bestie. And she's the overworked, anxious mom friend. That's her personality. And I like her a lot. I can't talk about her much because it's big spoilers, but I love her. Allura is adorable. She's also a deer. That's why she has like, you can see kind of little golden antlers, but her other form, she has like an elven form, but then her other form is like a deer. She's cute. Luna Deadwood. Hate her. Do I hate her more than Mithril? She's kind of up there with Mithril and Ire. Luna Deadwood is Tria's mother. So she was the last Earth Sage. She passed her powers on to Tria when she died. Luna sucks. She worked with Italo, the dark god, to genocide the elves. So like so Luna herself was an elf. She had Tria with Italo. Had a little baby. And then she went out and murdered all of the elves in the world. So she's a bad person. Glad she died for real. Like, good riddance. Yeah, she sucks. I won't spoil more about her story. She's an important character in the first book. But she Sucks. I can't believe I hate Edith more than the people who are doing fascism. Okay, maybe Edith and Bernard aren't that bad. But I hate them. They're just bad parents. But I guess they're not doing genocide, so. I think I hate Luna more. I don't know. She's very neck and neck with these two. We have Fidget. Whoops. I lost it. Fidget, where'd you go? Fidget. Fidget is... She's probably in the I like 'em tier. She's a pet fox. So in... Very easy to hate, right? Fidget is a little fox. So in the books of Avo, there are some cat characters, like Ekato is a cat. But cats as a species don't really exist in the world, but that niche has kind of been filled by foxes. So like people will have pet foxes, but they're kind of like cat coded. So Fidget is King Asler's pet fox, and she's really cute. She's just kind of a background character, but she's adorable. Rennie, it's kind of Blorbo territory. Okay. Rennie's kind of really up there. Yeah. Rennie is Syndra's pet dog. She's basically like a borzoi. Like it's like a fantasy breed that she is. She's like a mutt. But she's essentially a borzoi mutt. And she's just a silly little puppy. And I love her so much. She also at one point she like protects her family. She protects like Sindrith and them. So she's just like A+ dog. You know, she's a dog, so she's already good, but she's like an A+ dog, you know? Yes, long snoot, big long legs. She runs full speed into fence posts because she doesn't know how to stop. I love her. Rennie is the best. Oh no! These are all spoiler characters! No! Who the hell is Ailey? Oh, I know who Ailey is. How rude of me. Drac. Oh, he's up here. He's kind of a baby boy. Oh. Drac. Okay, how do I talk about Drac without spoilers? Drac is... He appears in book 2? Yeah, he's in book 2. He is an elf. So he's from the ancient past. He existed kind of when the books were being written. Obviously he doesn't exist anymore. All the elves are gone, but he... Okay, so when the elves are being created, kind of, they would just kind of like spring up out of nature. In some ways, like obviously sometimes like elves would have children and stuff, but the first elves kind of just like sprang up out of things. So he kind of came out of the mud. He's a little stinky in a good way, complimentary. He's not like a beautiful elf. He's kind of a average boy. But he works for some of the spirits. He gets kind of dragged into the Dark Council to like work for them. As like a scribe, because they would have elves do kind of all the writing for them. And elves would kind of work as servants and scribes and secretaries and stuff for the gods and the spirits. So he gets kind of dragged into that against his will. And he's just adorable. And I can't tell you anything else about his story because it's all big spoilers, but he is adorable. I love him. He's just anxious, and so am I, and he's my boy. And then there's Chroma, who is his boyfriend. So Chroma, he's an elf. He's one of the children of, I think a time spirit? I remember, or is it a light spirit? Shoot. One of the spirits is his parent. But he's like beautiful. He has like rainbow eyes, and he's a beautiful elf. And he works as a scribe on the Light Council. And he meets Drac, and they... And I love them. And they're good. And I love them so much. They're babies, and I will protect them with my life. Cress. Oh, shoot. Which one is Cress? Cress. 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 Who the frick is Cress? I'm gonna kick myself as soon as I learn. Who the frick? Who are you? Who are you? Who the frick is Chris? Guys, I have no idea. She's just listed as another character. Who the hell is Cress? I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, girl. Who the hell are you? Ailey, I remember. Ailey's really cute. I'd probably plunk her in here somewhere. Yeah. So Ailey, she is a Mirren. So the Mirrens are like a fantasy race in Avo that were created by a Tallow. They're mortal, so there's lots of immortals in Avo, so like the dragons, angels, elves, yeah, they can who like live forever, can't get sick, kind of thing. They they only die if they're killed. And then humans are mortal, so like normal humans, blah blah blah. But then the Mirrens were a mortal race created by a Tallow. He kind of created them without the acceptance from like the other council members, the other gods. He snuck them in there. But they're really cool. They live in this place called the Mirage, which is this big desert. And they're Hi, I'm back. Sorry. That was my neighbor saying, "Hey, we finished fixing your car." So as soon as I'm done stream, I gotta go see them. I feel bad. They were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for interrupting." It's like, "Oh, it's okay. You didn't know. You're helping me by fixing my car." Okay, so Ailey, she... Right, okay, the Mirrens, right, they live in the Mirage. They're made of sand, so they have, like, for real, they're so nice for that, right? They're so sweet. And And, like, they don't know I'm streaming, you know? I didn't tell them. But Ailey... Right. So anyways, they're made of sand. They have... Their souls are, like, this, like, light that, like, lives within them. They have, like, glass eyes that their, like, soul shines out of. They kind of... and they hold a lot of their sand bodies together with, like, wrappings and stuff. But they're... So, like, with humans, we have, like, kind of a normal lifespan that's pretty common among humans. With the Mirrans, they kind of... Their lifespan is kind of random. It's very chaotic. Italo kind of designed it that way. So, like, some of them live a long time, some of them don't, kind of thing, like, lifespan-wise. But yeah. We love the Mirrans. They're adorable. They're cool. We love another mortal race. And Ailey is a Mirran. It's giving a roll of dice. Exactly. That's pretty much Italo was like, haha, make it random. But yeah, and then the Mirrans, they all worship the Dark Council because, like, you know, Italo made them. Specifically. But anyway, so Ailey, she's a Mirran. She is adorable. She meets Lul. I can't really talk too much about her role because, like, it's pretty spoilery. But she meets Lul. She helps him. And she's just cute. Madoka, no. Apologies, the dogs are ornery. Madoka, come here. Doggies. Okay. I apologize for dog barks. Okay, Ailey, she's cute. She helps Lul. She's a nice lady. Moving on. Rain. Okay, Rain is from book 1 of Avo. She is an elf. She is the water sage, and she has gone missing. Like, they don't, like, at the start of the book, they don't know where she is. So in the books of Avo, book 1, they have to find all of the sages. So this is people who have specific powers over the different kind of, like, elements of the world. And they have to get all together so that they can, make an amendment to the books of Avo, because only the sages can do that, and they have to all agree on it, to stop Italo, the god of darkness, from returning from his slumber and destroying the world. So they don't know where Rain is. She disappeared, and they don't know if she gave her power to someone else, or if she died and it went to someone random, because if they don't choose an heir, it just goes to someone random. Or if she gave it away willingly, they're like, where the hell is Rain? So I can't talk about her too much, other than she was friends with, like, Mirel. She was friends with Luna before Luna betrayed all the elves. And she was friends with Faria, who's the fire sage. I like Rain. She's cute. I don't know if she's Blorbo. Yeah, there's Rain. I like her. She's cute. Actually, is she even that high? No, she's in I like her. She's in like. Yeah. Okay, are there any other Avo characters in here? Let's see. I know we're missing some. Oh, we have Avo, the goddess Avo. Hold on, let me bring these all to the top. We have Viren, the god of time. We have... Oh my god, what is her name? Kamiri, the goddess of fire. We have Shavera, the goddess of earth. We have... Ashar, the god of wind. There's a lot of characters, guys. Oh my god, there's way more. Okay, maybe I can't bring all of them up. Let's bring the gods up, though. So there's Maria, the god of light. Or goddess of light, I mean. Where's the tallow? Where's my mans? My tallow. Marcel, that's the god of water. Atalo, Atalo, Atalo. Where are you, Atalo? Atalo. Is he here? Are we missing Atalo? Serena, Odar, Grimm, Lavelle, Ballad, Arya, Otun, Velsair, Serval, Crow, Dove, Eleviv, Orinar, Vankilla, Vestrin, Lyra, Isha, Elisar, Sion, Aluin, Glissa, Faranar, Tia, Nalu, Driselva, Ulne, Fiol, Arva, Odes, Fenkili, Rome. Where's the tallow? We're missing a tallow. Oh no. Unless he's up here somewhere. A tallow. Is he up here somewhere? I'm not seeing him. Where's my mans? Too many characters. Blub got lost in the sauce. He did. He got lost in the shuffle. There's a lot of characters. I'm just shocked Bones forgot him because he's like one of Bones' favorites. No. He's not here. Sad. Can I add one? I'll have to add it in later. Well, there will be a part 2, so I can add him in then. Okay, so we've got the Goddess Avo. I like her. I don't know much about her. 'Cause she's kind of a mythical figure. But I like them, you know? The Goddess Avo made the universe. You forgot Aerith? That is true, and Aerith is the hottest. Aerith is, Aaron's dad. He's really hot. Oh my god, there's so many Bones. There's so many characters. Okay, let's bring our mains up. Maybe finishing Avo was a mistake for this stream. There's a lot of characters here. No, come back. Alex, come back. Hot, you say? He is. He's so hot. He's an anti-fascist. He's rebellious. He loves his son. Aaron's dad is really hot. He loves... I don't know if he's hotter than Lul, but he loves his transgender son, you know? And he's gonna fight against the fascists. Is he taken? Not anymore. Okay, I think that's all the mains. Well, oh, there's Odar. You know what? I'll get to these guys next time. I think I'll just finish up the Avo characters I've pulled up here, and then we'll do the rest next time because we have to add a Tallow and Aerith. Yes. Okay. Viren, he is the god of time. He's up there. I don't know if he's my sweet baby angel. But he's up here. I like him a lot. Do I like him? I like Morella a little bit more. Yeah. He's like in here. I like Viren a lot. He's a great character. He's a major figure in it. He's definitely kind of like a mentor character. He's a sweet old man. So when the books of Avil were finished and they cemented the laws of the universe, all of the gods and spirits kind of chose a final form for themselves, and he picked a human form. He thinks humans are neat, and he allowed himself to get old. Like, he started young and then got older over time, which is nice. He's just kind of a dad character to everyone. I like Viren a lot. He's really cute. Marcel. So this is the god of water. When he chose his final form, he was like, I want to be an eldritch sea creature. So he is a giant sea monster that's asleep at the bottom of the ocean. And he's created a dream that the water council kind of visits him in. They go and hang out in the water god's dream. He's great. He's very mysterious, very eldritch, kind of a cool guy. He's up there. I don't think he's like way up here. Edwin's in front of Mordecai. He's like in here. He's kind of a blurbo. Actually, is Marcel a blurbo? I don't know. I'll reorganize later. Kamiri. I hate her. She's in with the genocide guys. I need another tier that's like committed a genocide. There's a lot going on in Avo. Kamiri sucks. She's a bad person. She's like with Luna, honestly. She's the fire goddess. So she's like the kind of queen of the dragons. She made dragons. She lives in the Dragon Mountain with all of her council and all the dragons. Like, that's kind of their nest. Avo triggering 2 new tiers would be so iconic, for real. But yeah, so it used to be that dragons had these like kind of soulmate bonds with a lot of elves. So like a dragon would meet an elf, they'd fall in love or be besties and have this like eternal bond together. And the elf would be like the dragon rider, right? But when elves were all murdered and genocided, Kamiri, the head of the dragons, she's like, well... Oh, the other important thing to know is that dragons only have one baby. They have one egg. And so usually they would find like an elf, whether that's like their soulmate or just like an elf they like, and they'd have a baby with that elf to then have their egg, and that they'd get one egg. So when all the elves are gone, they're like, well, we don't like humans, we don't like angels. Okay, I'll save the spirits. There are 70. That's true. I didn't think of that. I'm gonna finish these main few and then I'm gonna quit for the day. But Kamiri, she was like, well, it took me a whole stream. Oh my god. Kamiri, she's a butthead. There's 70 because there's 7 gods and they each have 10 spirits on their council. So there's 70 of them. Anyway, so they were like, well, we can't have our immortal love with elves anymore. But we still need to continue the dragon lines and continue having eggs. So we're just going to kidnap all the human men that live in the village below our mountain and have babies with them and treat them as slaves. which is messed up. I don't like Kamiri. She sucks. Oh, I'm going down too far. Shavera? I like her. She's pretty high up there. Yeah. Shavera, she's the goddess of earth. She's a big wolf with a unicorn horn. Beautiful, adorable. She's kind of a mom character. She moms a lot of people, but she's also very, like, kind of mean and tough. Actually, I feel like she's in second favorite child status. She's like maybe up here, you know? She's up here. But anyways, Shavera, she's cool. She's cool. She's mysterious. She's a big wolf. And I'm a furry. Wild and out of pocket dragon. Literally, they suck. Ashar is the god of wind. He's a bird. So he goes in my favorite. No, he's kind of... I don't have strong feelings about Ashar. He's kind of... Yeah, he's like down here with like Avo. I might bring these up a little bit. He's kind of meh. He's very aloof. He kind of keeps out of things. He's very to himself. And he's fine. I don't have really strong opinions. I like him. I like Ashar. Maria. I like Maria. I like her a lot. She's like up here somewhere. I like her more than Shavera. Yeah, Maria. So she's the goddess of light. She's a little bratty little sister. She's like the youngest god. She's kind of a baby. She like cries about everything, which is like super relatable. She's a bit of a brat. She's kind of dumb. She fights a lot with Atalo, who's the god of darkness. She's a dragon. Like she has an elven form, but the form she also takes is like a little dragon with like angel feathers and wings. So she's like a fluffy little dragon. She's just like us for real, for real. She's so dumb and bratty and I love her. And she really wants to be close with Atalo. She has the same kind of problem as like Allura. Allura, who wants to be friends with Lul. Maria wants to be friends with Atalo. Dumb and cries, just like me. Exactly. So Maria wants to be close with Atalo, but he hates her. And she writes poems. She'll write him little poems and paint him pictures, and he hates them. I love Maria. She's also like a brat. She does bratty things that I don't always love, but I still love her, you know? Why? I know. Alex is a baddie, and she's kind of a blurbo. Yeah, she's in here. Alex, she's such a baddie. She's such a lesbian. I love her. So she is Asler's sister. So she's the princess. They're twins. She's a sociopath. BT dubs. Our characters are being too hot for me. I know. Bones just made a cast of hot characters. So Alex, she is a sociopath. She tries to assassinate her twin brother, the king, and to take his powers and stuff and become the only ruler. But she's also the dark sage, so she has like the dark powers, and she's a bad person, kind of a bad person. She does some good things in the book, don't get me wrong. She does eventually help the good guys. Sorry, spoilers, but she grows on me. I kind of love her. She's kind of an idiot and evil, but I love her. Can this sea eldritch guy also be hot? Please. I mean, I get to design him, so I could make him hot. We have plans to make, because we have so many, like, spirits, we want to make a tarot deck of all the spirits and gods. So eventually they will all be drawn. But anyways, Alex, she's a big lesbian. She's evil. I like her. Ursula, please. That's like a dream project that we have. Okay, Juliet. Wait, hold on. I want to do Feria and do Juliet last. Okay, Feria. Yeah, she's like in here. Yeah. Do I like her more than Celine? Kinda. They're at the same level, I feel. Feria, she's a hottie. She's a dragon. She's the only good dragon. She's a meanie. She has character growth. She's one of my characters that I love, where she starts kind of mean and then she gets better. She learns to be a good person. I can't spoil why she's bad. It's kind of dragon racism, where she's really mean to humans. Not as bad as Kamiri, obviously. She's not committing horrible crimes against humanity. She's just kind of a bad person who doesn't really think humans are worth much. She doesn't really respect them. But she does mess around with them. She's very flirty with humans. She's the red dragon. She has the fire sage powers, so she has fire powers on top of her dragon fire stuff. She has a elf form, which is like this, where she's got all her skills, but she also has like a dragon form. I could be human for you, but yeah, she's a big lesbian. She's very flirty. She learned about the Dark God returning. She's trying to get all the sages together to figure it out. I think Tria actually called them all together, but anyways. Oh, spoilers though. She was kind of in love with Tria's mom. She had a big lesbian crush on her. And that went great. But I like Feria. She's bad, but I love her. Pause. And then we have Juliet. Okay, Juliet's pretty high up here. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Is the mother a baddie? Okay, Luna Deadwood is kind of a baddie. She just looks like Tria. Luna is an evil, bad person and looks like Tria, so she's kind of hot. Okay. Juliet, she's the main character of Avo. She is a human. She is a landlord. Kind of bad behavior there, but she's a little rich princess. She's not actually a princess. She's like her father is like a robber baron. But anyway, she comes from a very rich family. She's kind of a bit of a spoiled brat. She's very rebellious though. Her mother's trying to get her to just like marry a man and have babies, and that's all her parents care about. That's kind of why I hate her parents. That's why they're in the I hate them section. Bernard and Edith. She does give landlord energy, but yeah. But anyway, so she got a loan from her daddy and started to loan out an apartment building. And Tria moves in, and Juliet starts spying on her because she's like, "Ooh, an elf. Elves don't exist." And she gets really kind of wrapped up in everything. And then Tria puts a curse on her so that there are plants growing out in her ears. And that's bad. But anyway, she gets kind of pulled into what's going on with them trying to save the world. And she meets Feria, who's kind of a part of this whole save the world plot. And they start flirting, and they go, come back here. And they're big lesbians together. She's also in the closet, has not realized she is gay. And I love her. She's such a freak. She doesn't know what's happening. She lived a very sheltered life, but by God, she is going to punch her way through it. She's just like angry and I don't know, she's got a big personality, you know? She's got gumption. She's gonna save the world, by George. She would punch a dragon, you know? She's that kind of freak. She's also besties with Donnie. They're besties. I friendship them a lot. They're good friends. All right. That's it. For now, this is part 1. There's so many freaking characters. So I guess next week I will go over the spirits in Avo, all 70 of them. But this is how we're looking so far. So mostly my sweet baby angel top tier is Avo characters, and then Nab and Aubrey. 70. Part 1 is done. Woo! Thank you all for joining. I will continue this tomorrow, I guess. Goodbye.